Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Costumeco. This is like my third time this week live streaming. I don't know what's going on, but I really am glad that you're here with us. I have back with me, Alicia's here, of course, and we have Manic Meeks is here. And we were hoping to have Becks, but unfortunately she has a work thing. She said she might try to pop in and say hello, but of course, we hopefully will have her back at another time. So for the purpose of tonight's live stream, we had talked about on the very last episode that we were going to get together and maybe kind of have some time to sort of think about the show, season 2, and then come back and with some of our thoughts. So we've got some fun things that we're going to do and share with all of you, but also this is interactive. So if you guys have any ideas that you'd like to discuss, let us know. You can put it in the chat, and any favorite moments that you might have had from season 2 of House of the Dragon. But before I start, I want to say hello to my lovely guests. Manic Meeks, she's actually, her home is very warm tonight, so she's, very relaxed, and her hair looks, she said it braided, it looks beautiful. So Meeks, do you want to say hi and tell everybody about yourself in case they don't know?
Hey guys! So I'm primarily a YouTuber. I do reactions and also do gameplay. I have 2 different channels, but my reactions are on my main channel, Manic Meeks. I watch all the things. I talk about all the things. And I enjoy all the things. So I have a variety of reactions and stuff. So that's pretty much what I do. I play games. I just have fun. I'm a dork. I win.
You're doing really well too. Like, I don't know how many subs you are, but I know Justin works for you.
I am so close to 25,000.
That's amazing.
Yeah, them numbers keep going up. It's so good. You're doing great, man.
Yeah. And speaking of doing well and growing her channel as well, along here is a Canis Velaryon. Acanis Velaryon.
Yes.
Yeah, you're wearing Rhaenyra's outfit, but you look.
I am indeed. Yeah, it's one of my favorite costumes that she had.
It's a gorgeous
season.
one. I really loved it, and that's actually that's your lipstick looks good.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Alicia, tell everybody about yourself in case they don't know you. I'm surprised if they didn't, but.
Oh, my name is AK. I am nowhere near as large as these 2 lovely ladies here. I just to get tipsy and speak random nerd stuff on my channel. That almost anything Marvel, House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, obviously, all of those nerd things. We've got the Rings of Power going on right now, and I swear, by any means necessary, we will speak about Interview with the Vampire at some point in time. We keep having to push it back.
For sure.
But we're going to get there.
I want to say hi to Carol.
I will put you on the roster. Absolutely. Okay. Hey, Carol.
I'm behind.
Hey,
I have
Carl.
to catch up. And
we haven't even started yet. So you can literally start from episode 1 and 2 of season 1.
Love the show.
Yep.
I love it. It's kind of underrated, and I saw an article about it saying
I think so too.
That they've now put season 1 on Netflix.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll open it up to a whole new audience.
Because a lot of people didn't want to get the AMC because I had AMC trying to watch the Terror season 2, which I still can't watch, by the way.
No.
Why not?
Because it's not out. They don't put it. They did not put the Terror season 2 out on AMC online yet.
This is what makes his hair looks like before she braided it, by the way.
That's funny.
It's like,
I keep forgetting you have the old picture on there.
Listen, we're talking about that was like 2017.
I just want to say Michigan says hello, crocheting a zombie mermaid while I listen.
As you should.
Sounds like fun.
Oh, hey.
It's season appropriate.
I mean, is there a way for us to see pictures of that after? Like, can you hit Heidi up on the Twitter
can
streets?
you send that to me? I'd love to see it.
That sounds fantastic.
It's Heidi at costumeco.ca is my handle or my email if you want to send it to me.
Please and thank you.
Yeah. I was going to say the other thing, I know you guys are watching all the shows, but I saw Alicia mention that you're watching Chaos. So if you do anything on Chaos, please include me. I am loving that show.
Let me write it down right now so I don't forget. Yeah.
It's
so good. It's so good the way they're doing the narrative. It is, but it works
in a good way.
And I think this may be my favorite thing I've seen Stephen Delaney in. And that's saying a lot because Stannis is the Manus.
Yeah, I was confused. I was like, that voice sounds familiar.
Yeah, I said to Jack, I said, I feel like this guy might have been in Game of Thrones, but I thought he was maybe like a day player, like a, and then I looked it up and I'm like, oh my God, that's Stannis. But, of course,
Yep.
he's wearing a wig and a beard and he's put on a bit of weight and everything. He is marvelous in the show. Hi, Natural.
Hey, Natural.
Anyway, so we're here to talk about House of the Dragon. But before we do, we thought there's been a little bit of controversy about George R. R. Martin. I kind of feel, okay, one of the things I posted this week was that, George is 75, right? And he is he's been working like a young person. And I'm saying this as someone who's in my 50s, that as you get older, it gets harder, right? It gets harder to, manage all the different things. So he's working on so many things. And there's a line in Spider-Man, you do too much. That's sort of how I feel about George right now. You do too much. And he's sort of like, instead of just handling a couple of projects like Meeks was saying, finishing the book, he's just spreading himself really thin. So do you want to talk, Meeks? Maybe you can sort of give everyone a little synopsis of what's been going on in the last week. And then Alicia can catch up on too. And then everyone in the chat can comment.
Well, the biggest thing is that he put up a blog, and it's not a blog, that listed everything, not everything, but the main reason why he was upset with season 2. A lot of people were speculating like, oh, he didn't like the way they were romanticizing Alicent, how they changed her, how they changed the relationship with Rhaenyra, how they're cutting out this piece and that piece. But he actually narrowed it down in his blog. Like the one thing that he was highly upset about happened at the beginning of the season with Blood and Cheese, and the leaving out of Maelor. That is his biggest problem, because it says it affects Helena in a way that she doesn't have that motivation that she has.
That part.
Yeah, that's going to be coming up for her, and what
that
she
makes
decides
sense
to do, which makes sense. So he was highly upset that was taken out, and he pretty much just like dissolved from there. He was like, that major change just made him uninterested in the next season, because he's like, at this point, what are you going to do with her character? How are you going to fix this? Because he actually likes her character. And it's literally just this one thing that he is so upset about, that he just kind of removed himself from the writing of season 3, which I wish he would just not do that.
Like, I know it's something that they definitely can't course correct or backtrack on now, but I think if he sat and thought about it for a little bit, he could work in at least a bit of the spiral that Helena is supposed to go on. Like right now, I again love what they're doing with her character. She does not have nearly as much presence in the book as she does on the show, and it just makes so much sense for what they did with her character. That choice she had to make was a very key thing. So I agree with George on not liking that Maelor was not there. But I do still think there are enough other elements, especially with the way Aemon is on his nonsense, that Helena could definitely still start to spiral down. And not even just with Aemon, but also with Alicent and her random back and forth stuff. And we already know, because Helena's she's a dreamer, so there's all types of things that she could know are coming already that could mess with her and get her in the same state of mind. So she
could be overwhelmed with all the information, like she could do all this stuff.
Exactly. Like, again, they had this girl in Daemon's freaking vision all the way in Harrenhal, and she wasn't even in a Godswood. She wasn't near no Weirwood tree at all. That's how powerful she is. She was just on the balcony, and she could still tap in. So there's so many cool things they could do that work around Maelor. So I wish he wouldn't just like give up and walk out of the story, because it's doing great. There's some gripes obviously that we all have, but this is fixable. This is we can still work with what we have.
Well, I just feel like if he knew that this was going to be important for her, he should have been like, season 2, this has to happen. This person has to be here. We haven't talked about 2 characters that are missing. There are 2 sons that are missing from the green side. It
sounded like
they're covering the Daron issue.
From Condal's side, it sounded like it was a money issue. They would have to hire a third child, and
like I think it's a set of twins or something like that.
Yes, a set of twins. My understanding is,
but they're tiny though.
But you still have to have people watch them.
They have,
true enough.
and probably doubles. Like they'd have
and
like
shorter
doubles.
recording hours.
Yeah,
filming
shorter
hours.
recording out. But if you, let's say, how old was Maylor when it happened? Maybe like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Look,
Mhm.
you could have their parents on set. Like do like old girl, her parents are baby boo,
Brooke
from
Shields?
Percy Jackson.
Oh
No,
Sorry, I'm
the
going
girl
way
that
back there.
paid
I'm going way
the girl
back.
that played Annabeth. Both her
Yes.
parents were on set the whole
Yeah,
time.
but she was
So-
way older. But she was
Mhm.
way
I understand.
older.
No, I understand that, but that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So if you want to, hire in the parents to
Mhm.
help with that,
It
and
doesn't-
maybe
no,
you
I don't
don't have
think
to
they
pay
can.
the like super professional people. You can.
No, here's the thing. I don't think that they can because it's also the filming hours. You can't work kids more than a certain hours a day.
Yeah.
Period. So even if their
No,
parents
that's
were
fair
there
enough. I'm not saying
and they have like
can't
3
have
hours
them-
to get a shot, if they don't have the shot, then next day more money because they got to come back and then you got to have all the people with them. You got to put them in hair and makeup. You got to So I understand the money side of
that's
that.
what they have to
But
do.
y'all
have
should
all
have.
the
Y'all should have.
dragging. You could have.
Come on, y'all should have thought about something.
It's worth it. It would have been
I
worth
have to
it
say,
to get it in.
did you think this? I think this came up at some point that Helena still could have Mailer. She could be pregnant. I mean, there's some discussion about that. Now, she wouldn't be able to now get pregnant because obviously, but she could be pregnant and then have Mailer, and then that could happen, and then then they could have that at least.
Because they can also have a book theory where the kids are not the kings at all. It's Aemon.
And that it would have been Mons, right? Or just have a little baby doll. I mean, the CG
That's
on babies has gotten so much better. It wouldn't be the little Twilight baby. We wouldn't even have to zoom in on the kid's face that much. We could have done this. You could have went and got a little Cabbage Patch doll and wrapped it up in a bundle. This
They
was
did
doable.
baby while she was running down the steps. That was not a real baby.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, have you guys watched that show? Have you watched the show? Is it it's the M. Night Shyamalan, The Servant. Have you seen that? And there's a baby in that. No. They have a baby, but then they have a fake baby. And I'm sure like it looks so real. The fake baby. It looks so real.
See, they could have done this easily.
Yeah,
we could
I
have
feel
started
like both
the
of
season
them
out with a
could have
little
worked
baby
together
doll.
and get it and get what he wanted in there so they can do whatever they needed to do. I just feel like it's a thing to talk about it after the season has ended and you can't change anything.
Exactly.
If this is something that was really important to you, that you felt that was a requirement for this character, then you should have put your foot down in the beginning. Like, this is what is going to happen. This is what needs to happen. You have to include this.
Yeah.
Because we saw what happened.
I'm surprised this wasn't in his contract. That he didn't.
That's what I'm saying. What's in the contract? Like, what is?
Because I feel like he has enough agency in being in the writers' room and being so involved as he has been from the beginning that you could have easily done this. Yeah, I don't understand how we got all the scripts, we got all the everything, and you didn't say a word about Maelor once ever until now.
It sounds like he did. It sounds like he did, and he got pushed back from Condal. But the problem is, this is where George got in trouble.
Was Condal the problem though?
He's saying that Condal was trying to explain to George why they needed to go this way. It partly, I think, probably was because of the shortened season of 8 episodes, but then also the money consideration. And so I think Condal decided that this might have been the solution because, they're talking about it being like a Sophie's Choice moment for. Also, he didn't like the fact that she says, I have this necklace. Whereas originally she said, take me instead. And he didn't like that either because he didn't think the stakes were high enough for that. Like, here's a necklace. They're going to be like, whatever.
Oh, we don't give a fuck about that necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody cares about a necklace.
Where things got complicated is that he took the blog down. And then HBO came out with a statement. So Meeks, did you see that whole sort of
I did because here's the thing. Technically, he should not have put that out there. Technically, he should not have put that out there because that's part of like NDA. That's part of
I would think that would be on an NDA. Yeah.
They could sue him. Yeah, they could sue him.
Literally. So it was literally up for like almost an hour and then it was taken down. And by the time I went to it and I read it halfway, and then I went to some TikToks as I was seeing people like talk about it. I went back to it and it was gone. I was like, damn.
I read the screen grabs.
I was about to say, somebody got the screenshot.
Accounts out there, they took the screen grabs.
So I was like, dang. So I went back to TikTok and I was like, my goodness. And it makes sense that he would take it. He would have taken it down because he's still involved with the project. He's still signed on the dotted line to have some of his agency taken from him with this whole entire story, which is why I'm kind of like, if you're gonna,
right, like, don't
if you're
you
gonna
hash
do this,
that out
yeah,
in
I'm
the
like,
beginning?
exactly. Like, I don't like it.
I don't either. Because it just, if it was really that important, there's no reason
Thanks,
why you
Emmanuel.
couldn't have had this settled before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this is
Exactly.
stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, George obviously has an agent, and the agent should be acting on his best, you know. And
Mhm.
I would be like, George could have had something in there saying that he had carte blanche on, or final decision on the
Exactly.
scripts before they went to camera. He could have had something in there, but maybe HBO negotiated with him and said, no, we can't do that. Like, that's just,
See,
we
and
won't get
and if
anything
that's
done.
the case, then George, I'm sorry, bro. You agreed and you signed the contract. You can't be mad now.
Natural selection, exactly. That's what I'm feeling right now.
Right, he got
Okay.
time to beef, but we can't get our books.
Like, you can't, like, right now, season 2 is wrapped, it's done. You can't undo
Yeah.
it. We can't go back and do a redo.
Can't
So
go
it is what
back.
it is right now.
Mhm, mhm.
They're
But
just
what you
going to focus
can
on,
do
yeah, what you can do
is figure out where the winds of winter are blowing, so we can have our volumes completed. Like, my nerves are bad because my collection is incomplete, because I know there's these other books that are supposed to be coming, but they're not coming, and I don't appreciate that, George. So come on, bro. I mean, sorry that the thing didn't work out for you, but can we
Yeah.
get back
And
to
also
what you were supposed to be doing?
I wish that he wouldn't remove himself from season 3 writing room,
Yeah,
because
that's
we
such a
need
big
him.
tantrum to throw.
Like, granted that the series is finished, like the historical, like, we know what happens. We all know what happens, and we know how it ends. But I'm just like, I really like when he's involved
The
in these
journey
projects,
there,
because
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
like the
journey
writing
is
is better.
important. Yes,
The intrigue is better, because if we learned anything from Game of Thrones, after like season 5
that
is when it
part.
started, like, to season
That
at the
part.
end, we're like, okay, and then season 6 we were like, okay.
And it's not like George hasn't worked in television. Like, he worked on, I don't know what other shows, but I know he worked
he
on Beauty and the
started in
Beast.
television. Yeah, Beauty and the Beast, still one of my favorite shows from my
An amazing
childhood.
show.
He pretty much created the Borg on Star Trek when
So
he was
cool.
working with that. I think he
Yeah.
worked on Twilight Zone a few times too. Like, we know your storytelling, bro. You've done TV before. You know how these things
kitties.
go. That's it. Yeah, Star Trek Next Generation.
But
Thank you.
Unfortunately, and I know that I've heard this just from interviewing costume designers and everything, like with the streaming now, everything is so much more intense. Like, everything, it's changed a lot, and the pressure is a lot greater, and they're always trying to squeeze everything. Like, people have been chatting about the executives, the higher ups are always trying to, like, squeeze every last little bit of money out of them, you know, like, won't give them the money.
And they're like raising the stakes for them, the requirements for them. So you no longer get that first season of awkwardness and weirdness. If you're not a hit in the first season, they cut it. If you're not meeting the numbers that they think you should meet, they're not giving the show a chance to marinate and get better.
Absolutely.
Which is so absurd to me. I that's one thing in film that I really don't like nowadays, because there's so many good shows that just get cut because they think not enough people have watched it. Like Warrior Nun on Netflix.
Oh, amazing.
Great premise
show.
for
My
a show, and
it.
they cut it off after what, like season 2, season 3?
Season 2, I think.
It doesn't make sense.
The fans don't have time to find it. Like, we were just talking about this with
advertise, right? The advertisement is horrible.
We were just talking about this with Interview with a Vampire, the TV series, which is on, what's the network it's on normally?
AMC.
It's on AMC. So a lot of people don't have AMC, but now they've put season 1 on Netflix,
and now they're going to AMC,
and now they're going to AMC
because they're like,
right.
how dare you?
See season 2, and then I think season 3 just came out, right?
Season 3 just announced.
It just announced. Okay.
I mean, like, really, if they were smart, the advertising for that, I mean, first and foremost, because he is like the star of the show, but you could easily tap into that Game of Thrones crowd real quick and say, hey, Grey Worm's a vampire now. Come see.
Yes,
And
he's
and
amazing.
there's your numbers right there. Yeah, and the show is freaking amazing, y'all. For if you haven't watched Interview with the Vampire yet,
really
please
good.
go check it out. The whole premise
so
and
good.
how they've done everything is beautiful.
Now to
and
me,
they
now
changed
that
the time setting. They changed it to like
Yes.
Louisiana, sort
that
of
is like a perfect
I love
example
it.
of being involved in a project, because Anne Rice was her hands were all up in this. She was talking about it all the time on Facebook. She was making posts until she passed, and her son took up the mantle. He's doing the exact same thing. He's being involved in this as much as he can to make sure that it's
and the
what
production,
his mother had wanted. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you're gonna
it's spectacular
your stories into television shows, you got to be protective of your material. Okay.
Another good example, Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman with Good Omens. With what's the other one that he just had, the Sandman series.
The Sandman.
He is in he is always right there, all in the mix. Rick Riordan for the Percy Jackson series. He is right there. He hated the movies, but he's here for the TV show, and the TV show was spectacular. So I feel like George needs to just calm down a little bit.
Yeah, Hugh Howey.
Yeah, and Silo's a really great show too.
I was going to say though, with Neil Gaiman, he's unfortunately like, what is with these people? Who said don't ever meet your heroes?
I've recently heard some things about him. Yeah,
he's taken a step back from.
I didn't like.
I have to say I do commend him from stepping back from Good Omens, because it's such a great show, and the crew, the cast, the showrunners, everybody involved. It would be such a shame if that show went down like House of Cards, because
of his nonsense.
Yeah. That was weird that I had like a bit of a pun on House of Cards, but the show's called House of Cards. But anyway.
Okay, there's no release date. I wanted to make sure.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Neil. Oh dear. But anyway, I just don't know what's going on in this world. I'm like, can people just not like be assholes?
Can y'all just be good humans?
Exactly. Can y'all just be regular,
it's not hard.
Humans?
Be normal.
Just be regular,
Well,
see,
anyway.
I've been hearing about Mayfair witches, and I love a spooky situation. So I'm like,
what, kiddies, can you give me a small synopsis of what that is? Because I haven't watched the show, but I do think I've watched a recap of it on Daniel CC Movies. If you don't have time to watch TV shows, Kid puts out like hour-long whole series breakdowns of seasons of shows, and I'm fairly certain I watched his breakdown of both of those seasons, and the show looked amazing, but I just don't have time to watch it.
By the way, we're just going back to George. He mentioned in his, not a blog, in the new one, not the one he took down, that he's working on a part 2 of Fire and Blood.
Yes, gimme. Sorry,
but the Winds of Winter aren't going so well. So man, you know what? It's funny. I just read this book where the writer in the book, it's a Stephen King actually, which is funny. So the writer of this series, this book series, is very, very famous, very loved. He dies like halfway through writing the book, the finale of this book series. And so it's funny because George Martin and Stephen King are friends, but so what happens is his editor, or his what do you call it, his the person who basically proofreads your script or your book and everything.
I think it's an editor.
Is it your editor?
I feel like there's a word you're looking for and I know it, but I can't figure it out.
So she's copy edited his book series like over the years, like many, many years. So when he dies, she's worried that she'll have to give back the retainer. So she privately pretends like she has the manuscript, but in reality, what she's done is she's finished the book, and it ends up being a huge bestseller. So this is like big secret that she has, where she's finished the book of this dead. And I'm wondering if he had a couple of editors that could help him finish it, because it's not like that's not done. It's done a lot of the time. So. Yeah. If he just gives, because this is what she has, because it's a ghost story, she ends up, this editor, she goes and talks to the ghost, and they find out like what happens, like, so she knows how to end the story. But if George was to give like a plot, like, and just go, here it is, probably someone could help him finish it, like, because they do it all the time. So because I kind of feel bad for the guy. He's 75. Like, it's not easy.
But no, it's not easy. But dude, you're also trying to do like 1,001 new
things.
That's part of
things
the issue.
all
like
at the same
5
time.
shows that he's working
Maybe
on too, right?
slow back down and don't take on so many projects every year.
Yeah, because like
You know
House
what
of the
it is?
Dragon and then the other
shiny
animated
new.
series.
It's the shiny new project.
Yes.
When you're saddled with an older project and you get like, oh, like how am I going to do this? And then you get this shiny
the
new
exact
project.
same
It's so much
thing.
easier, right?
Yes,
So
everything's
much
you know what it is?
prettier.
It's Ryan Murphy.
Yeah.
Every show that Ryan Murphy has worked on, when it starts flopping off as soon as he gets a new project to work on, like with Glee seasons 1, 2, and 3, great. After that, it started falling off. Why? Because his eyes were on a different show.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really sucks.
Thanks,
sometimes
Amy.
when folks do that.
That's why I can't be really mad at him. I just want better. That makes sense. I just want better for the situation.
Because there's no reason. Like, I know he takes a long time to pour into his characters to make sure he gets the right story, but you can't do that if you're purposely filling up your time with all this other stuff.
For sure. Okay, so what do you feel like going? We're gonna start going into some of these things we were going to discuss. Do you guys feel good about that? Hi, Alicia.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my God, not sucked. Oh God, never.
You thought it sucked, really?
I never.
Maybe that was another dragon show that he's mixing up.
I'm like, sucked.
Okay, well, what I thought now, and this is something that everyone in the chat can participate in as well. So I think the first thing we were going to start with, I thought this was kind of fun. We were just chatting about this before we went live. So I was going to go around. Everyone was going to name a favorite character from the show. And then we could also do your favorite villain and your favorite hero. And then we could also do your least favorite character. So do we want to start it with your favorite character? I have to think on this. Like, I'm asking you guys these questions and then.
Yeah,
and this is for season 2, not season 1. No one in season 1.
I thought I had it, but
I can go with my favorite character.
Okay, you
Good.
go.
My favorite character, I'm down Team Black. You know what I'm saying? Team Black is my source. But my favorite character is Aamon. Aamon was out here making a mess this season. He was out here running around muckery.
all the drama.
He ended last season on some tomfoolery. He came in this season on some tomfoolery, and I'm like, I'm not mad at him. I am not mad at him. He was very entertaining. His character desires were you understand them. You understand he is the middle child, feeling real left out, feeling real looked over. And he put himself in a position to be very important to his brother so that when push came to shove and he was able to try to get him the hell out of there and make it look like it wasn't purposeful, he was going to do that. He was going to set himself up to get the things that he wanted, which is why I think him coming at Helena sideways is kind of weird, because we all knew that he kind of sort of wanted Helena.
Exactly.
A little bit in the beginning, like last season we saw, I would do my duty. So I'm just like, he was just very engaging. He was very electric on the screen. He was just so good. So good. I hate this man. But I love to watch him work.
But you're supposed to. Right, exactly.
I was saying to David when I did his show, he has an amazing voice. Like I was saying, it was kind of like buttery. It's very buttery, very soft. It's like he doesn't need to raise his voice. He's so commanding with just that quiet, Anyway, I think Ewan does an amazing job.
He does.
Do you have anything else to say, Meeks, about that?
No, that's it. That's it. I love him. I love it. And in his voice, you're right. Because even in his interviews, he's so sweet and calm. And even in the show, when he's yelling,
bagels right before I came on, him and they were trying different bagels, and he's like, "Oh, this is delicious."
Like even when he was yelling at his mother and at Helena, it wasn't like it was just like a real. It's like a tone he set.
It's like a stern tone.
He was like he's real serious. You know what I'm saying?
Like a dad that is about to get in your ass, but he's not going to lay a hand on you.
I'm not upset.
He's just going to tell you what you're not about to be
Mm-hmm.
doing in his house.
Like, I'm confused as to why you think that it's okay to come into my house with your shoes on. You see everybody else's shoes over here. You see what I'm saying? You see everybody else's shoes over here. Just take off your shoes.
Do you think the rules don't apply to you?
Exactly. Don't walk on my carpet
for everyone.
You're bringing
What are
me
you doing?
outside.
They do
Take off
something
your
about that
shoes.
in the last season of Umbrella Academy. I don't know if anyone's watched Umbrella
Uh,
Academy, where they go
we
over
watched that
to one
chapter.
of the.
Yes,
It's hilarious. I love
it is.
that.
So, take off your shoes.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Take off your shoes.
What about you, Alicia? Do you have one? If you don't, I have one.
I do. No, I do.
Okay.
I
Okay, go
will
ahead.
first give my honorable mention
Sure.
because I think he deserves to be recognized, and that is little Lord Tully, who came in
Yes.
standing on freaking business, speaking
10
with
toes
his
down.
whole chest, like, Damon, what the fuck you not gonna do in my lands,
And try
my lands with my
Damon.
people that you need is beyond
Motherfucker.
that fuck shit. Now that I'm
Mhm.
here.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
so he Lil Lord Tully deserves all of his props, but because of and y'all know me, what I always say is why I love all the current day stuff that's going down, the magic and the history and lore of these series is always my jam. Like I'm all up in the weirwood nets looking to see how these things connect through the timelines of the past and how we got here. So for the lore of it all, I'm going to say that Helena is my number one character for season 2.
Great.
I
That's
love
actually
the
I'm
growth
surprised
that
at
they
I thought
gave
you were going to
her.
say Alice Rivers. That's great.
I mean, she's in that too, but she's doing exactly what I expected her to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
What we have gotten from Helena
It's
is
just
not
new
what
and
I was
interesting.
expecting, and we didn't expect it in season 1, and it was awesome. We didn't expect it, to be even to raise the bar, even how it did here in season 2. So yeah, I love it. I love that she's kind of a low-key witchy, and people I think are a little bit afraid of her now. And she's not like out here doing no mess to make people afraid, but when she starts talking her shit, people are looking now like I'm gonna go over here because
Yeah.
Amon thought that he was gonna try her on that balcony and she shut him down. I mean, you could kill me, but it ain't gonna change shit. You still gonna be dead though.
Exactly. You're gonna die.
And then she walked off and just left him standing there. So yeah, for the lore of it all, for the chutzpah, we'll say that my girl has, I'm giving that the number one spot to Helena.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, actually, I don't know if anyone's seen this. It's a couple of videos. So Adam Savage, he has a TV show. He used to have a TV show, but now he's got a YouTube channel. So he went behind the scenes to House of the Dragon. It looks like they shot it before the season came out. So they had like Helena's cricket little cage. It was really cute. And the prop master was talking about, I guess they were trying to like, what would a cricket go in? Like, so she was like ordering all these things and some of them were massive, because she said that they would order a lot of stuff off of Etsy. And so stuff would come in. So they ended up with this cute little like cage, it looked like a little bird cage, but for crickets, right?
I'd just be stealing everything off the set.
Oh, it was so
Something
fun.
would
By
be
the way,
in my pockets every day.
Oh.
I shared out the videos because he does one with the armor and the weapons, and then he does one with the props, and then he does one with like some of the set pieces and stuff. It's very fun. And Adam Savage is really
Nice.
like a really cool. So if anybody wants to check this out.
Real quick, other honorable mention, because I think it would be bad if we didn't think of her, but Lohan or Lohar, whatever her name is.
Oh yes,
Sure.
That chick,
great choice.
She is awesome. I really like her. And it was only one episode. I can't wait to see what happens when she comes up next to Corlys, because I feel like there's a twist there. Like she's talking like she has beef with Corlys, but I don't know.
Well, I think the beef is seasoned because he's been keeping her ass out of his waters.
Exactly.
So I think the beef is real seasoned. It's delicious.
Seasoned and delicious, yes. But in what way? Because I feel like there's everything possible that it could be a little Velaryon bastard over there in her harem, if you know what I'm saying.
Harem.
So maybe that's the beef.
Yes.
She was trying to get people to impregnate her wives.
Yes.
So
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Maybe there's something else there.
Stock.
Does he though? Or does he? I don't know about him and his brother. They're not too clever Lannisters to me.
Okay, I have one. Mine might seem kind of like I don't know, maybe obvious, but I'm going to vote for Sir Simon Strong.
Oh,
yes,
his face is
and
yes.
And I have him there because, well, first of all, I love that he added some levity and some humor to the show. So that was really great. Also, he was a total diva. Like his costumes, like he looked better than even the gals, right? With all the rings and the jewels and the furs and, looked just, but also just the way he just came at like Damon, like like a boss, how he just sort of
Completely
challenged Damon all the
unbothered.
time. And so anyway, and you know what, honestly, like, I don't know if you guys were in fear for him. I was in so
Me too.
much fear
I was.
for him
No,
at
I was
the
scared.
end. And then when he was like clapping, yay, they made up. Like, so anyway, he was my favorite.
I think he
Simon
was
Strong
clapping
is my
more to
boy.
say,
Like, oh my
more
God,
to say
get out.
that
Please leave.
yes, like, thank you, my queen, thank you
I
so
made
much
it
for
through.
coming to get his ass
Hallelujah.
out of my house.
I made
But
it.
yeah, I will absolutely
Yeah.
say Lord Simon is the Lord that we did not know that we needed to
Exactly.
have this season, and he did not give an inch at all to Damon in all of his arguing. It was always yes, king, consort. And I love that. I love that.
Yeah. And there's an example. Now, I mean, George probably had some say in it, but there's an example. His character was not really fleshed out at all in Fire and Blood, right? And here, I mean, and the actor, sorry, I don't know his name, but he was magnificent.
Fantastic.
So fantastic. I think he's like one of those classically trained actors, British actors.
He
So
looks like he is. Yep.
yeah. So what is
and also just shout out for House Strong.
Oh yeah, for sure.
How strong is strong.
Yeah. Okay, well, speaking of how strong, or maybe not, I was going to say, do we want to pick our villain, or do you want to do a hero first before we do that?
Favorite villain?
Yeah, do you want to do villain?
I mean, either one.
We can.
Either
it
one.
doesn't matter. My
I
person's
have
still
to
the
think
same.
of mine. Do you have? Actually, I guess there's an obvious one.
My person's still the same. Sorry, same person.
Yeah, I think I have to second that too. Yeah, because I mean, like,
his ass.
If this was season 1, then maybe I might have said Damon would be a nominee, but no, Amon did the thing.
He was running it. He was running everybody, especially when he got
pissed
his brother
me
in that
off.
bed.
Yes,
ball.
He pissed
like,
me off in every single way he was supposed to. You know what? Your ball is here. You know why? Because when we take attendance, here is where you need to stay attending. You come out this fucking room, see what happened to you.
You sleep.
He's an amazing villain. And the other thing I love about him is he's so perfectly dressed. It's like, I think that they talked about this in the behind
I have to find the video.
Yeah,
I have to find the video to show y'all. Excuse me.
Yeah, Aegon talks about how, or the actor, Tom, sorry, how he's supposed to look like he's just sort of like fallen out of bed. That's why his hair is kind of messy, and he's cut his hair shorter because he's
everybody
like
loves the long
off.
hair.
He's pissed at his family. Fuck you. I'm gonna have my hair shorter. Whereas Aemon is just completely taking it seriously and just going for it all. Like he's kind of like Cersei Lannister in the glam department.
Always.
So I just love him, and just like he's just like, and he's not like a mustache twirling villain, but he's he really pulls it back. Like
I feel like he wants
Peter
to be a
Cushing,
mustache,
like a Peter Cushing, from Star Wars, the original Star Wars, like not Darth Vader, but just like the Peter Cushing, the Admiral or what have you, just so solid. So I have to agree with the both of you on that one.
So good. And the thing is, every time he had to do something or make a decision, it was dramatic. It was like a mess for Team Black. And yes, Aemon.
Yes.
We give everyone a nickname.
Yeah, Aemon. Yes, it's from
really
Pen and sorry, what is it?
That's in chapter
4. To be bothersome, I guess. I don't know.
Sorry, you guys. What's the name of it? It's Key and Peele. That's the humor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Goku.
I got it.
Have you got it?
That's what the F's for. What is that for?
Like, I mean, at least explain yourself. I mean, if you want to come in and have actual discourse, you could have just said that, bro.
I'm just wondering what
you know what?
F in chat means somebody's dead.
Yeah.
Who died?
Clean
I
Imperial
don't know.
look. Exactly.
Oh,
Thank you,
actually, wait,
kitties.
hold on, real quick. R.I.P. to the legend, King Joffrey has passed on. Yes, let me raise my drink.
A lot of people have died.
James Earl
I'm waiting for that
Jones.
third one to drop.
Amazing. By the way, I'm going to watch Field of Dreams tomorrow night with my kids. Like, and I forgot he's in that.
Kevin Costner,
So-
Field of Dreams?
Yes, James Earl Jones is in it. And
I
I
did
didn't
not know
even
that.
remember. My sister mentioned it to me, and I'm like, oh, we're going to watch that tomorrow night. Because we've seen Star Wars like a million times.
Did they see The Sandlot?
Sorry, what's that?
Did they see Sandlot? Because he's in that
The
too.
Sandlot.
No, what is it?
What? You said, what is it?
What's
Wait,
Sandlot?
Heidi, you've never shown your kids The Sandlot?
I don't even know what it is. What is it?
Ma'am, Google
that's a-
immediately, right now, live on air.
That's
Google.
for you.
Okay, I'm going to share it.
Yes.
That's your end of summer project.
Okay.
Have you ever heard
Can I
somebody
share
say,
it?
"You're killing me, Smalls"?
You're killing me,
Have you ever heard
Smalls.
that?
You're killing me.
Because that's where that's from.
Well,
Oh my
she's in
gosh.
Canada. They may not
I
be
am.
walking around quoting
So what's
that.
it called?
The Sandlot.
We just watched Critters. We watched Critters 1 and 2.
Critters.
Yes, I love
Sandlot.
Critters. I love
Oh
Critters.
my
Even
God,
when
what
they
is
got
this?
extra cheesy by Critters 4, it's still great.
It's from 1993.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's about some kids playing baseball in their neighborhood
Aw, that looks really cute.
It's great.
Oh, I
for
know this
Independence
kid.
Day. Yes, it's very cute.
They got a lot
Yeah,
of
there's a
faces
lot.
in there.
There's a lot of faces that we know as kids in that movie.
Oh, you guys can't see it for some reason. Hold on, sorry.
It does not like you. It
Here, let me
says
show
no.
it again. Let me show it again. I have it here. Hopefully, I don't get demonetized for this. But Sandlot. If anybody else doesn't know what it is, there it is.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
I thought it was a horror movie, like
No.
like Salem's
No,
Lot.
no, not at all.
So
It's
here's
literally
some
about
pictures.
good times and a summer group of friends.
Aw.
Yes, yeah,
In Canada, the
almost
movie
like a
like that was-
final last hurrah for the summer.
Yeah, in Canada, the movie that was called Meatballs. That was the big movie. It was like a camp.
Who was
movie.
in that? Was Corey Feldman
James
in that?
Makepeace.
I feel like I've heard of that.
It's so good. It's like one of those like coming of age kind of movies. Oops, movie. Not Meatballs, the the recipe, but here it is. Oh, Bill Murray's in it. That's who's in
Oh,
it.
that one. Okay,
Yep,
I thought
that
so.
one. Yeah,
I thought so. I'm like, is there another one?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so good. Are you ready for the summer? That's the one where they sing that song.
Yeah, but that's
Chris
another
Makepeace is
movie
the-
to add to your list.
Yeah.
It's
So
so
anyway,
good.
so that's where
Okay.
Ivan Reitman. That's why it's Canadian. Yeah. But anyway, so but tomorrow night we're gonna watch Field of Dreams with James Earl Jones. So anyway,
Nice.
sorry to
That's cool.
literally killing me small.
Yes, you're killing
Oh,
me,
I
Smalls.
wanted to watch that,
Yes.
but we watched like the last few weeks. We watched Critter 1 and Critter 2. Well, that movie I'd never seen before in my life. It's hilarious.
Okay,
Oh my God, this
is something somebody made. Like, this is how Eamon gets up in the morning.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He probably has virgins washing his hair.
That absolutely every single time.
Yep.
Every single time.
Because the mane is just too pretty. You he's in the
Absolutely.
mirror combing it and brushing it and making sure that it is immaculate every time.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah. See, Carl knows them. Porky's. Yeah. Porky's.
Yep.
Animal House. He knows all my
Porky's
faves.
is awesome.
I didn't like Animal House. I didn't think it was funny. Porky's, I liked.
It was sort of like of the time.
I think I saw Porky's at way too young of an age.
I should have been watching Porky's, but I liked Porky's more than I liked Animal House.
I
And
don't
I did
even
like
remember
that
Animal
video.
House. I think I only
Yeah.
saw that Animal House like once or twice, but Porky's, yeah, that's my shit.
I love Porky's. All right, so we've done your favorite villain, we've done your favorite character. What about do you have a favorite hero? Like, I mean, I don't know if like the favorite character is a hero.
Favorite hero?
Yeah, someone who's like not a villain, the opposite of a villain, I guess. Someone who's a hero. I mean, it could be like Rainey's could be a hero.
You know what? I would say that, but and I may find the deleted scene just to show you, because I don't know if you've seen any of the deleted scenes, but there is one that is between Auntie Nisi and Bela. And Bela's speaking to her about I think it was about support, like at the very beginning while they were trying to get stuff set up still, and Rainy's she just did not want to be in the conversation. So Bela, and we know Bela comes up and starts talking and literally like getting in her kind of getting in her ass about it. And she starts laughing, and Bela's like, "Bitch, do I look like am I telling jokes?" That's not what she said exactly, but I'm just paraphrasing.
That'd be good.
But,
I'd like to see that.
But the line that stood out for that is Auntie Nisa's like, "No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just proud because this is the first time I've seen my daughter in years."
Aww.
And I dislike that they cut that.
Yeah.
I'll search in the background and find it. But to answer your question, my favorite hero, Bela.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think so. She
is my number one, holding it down in every way possible. Anytime a task was given to her, she did that shit. Right.
For her
and Rhaenyra said that. It's like, look, Auntie Nisi ain't here no more, and I know I need to lean on you. And she stepped up. She didn't miss a beat at all. Every time Jace was being mopey or getting too much in his feelings, she'd smack him upside the back of his head and bring him right back down to earth. Like, hey, calm your shit.
Why does Ghostboy just do letters? Like, what's going on?
Right,
what's VG
bro. If you
very good.
Vagina?
I was like, very good.
She said,
"Are you trying to horrify us?" Like, I don't know what's going on. Vag.
I mean, we all have vaginas though. Vaginas don't scare us, bro.
Vaginas.
No.
Vagines.
By the way, last night I interviewed Carlos, the costume designer for Alien Romulus, and I went to see the movie.
Yes, I saw that.
And I don't know if this is a spoiler, but there's the biggest vagina I think I've ever seen in that. Well, it was so funny because I've been watching a lot of behind the scenes of the original Alien. And Veronica Cartwright, who's in the original Alien, she's a riot. She's like, "Oh my God, the set was just filled with vaginas and penises were everywhere."
I mean, and that's the design. That's the design of the aliens.
Yeah.
Like in some way, shape, or form, all of them end up looking kind of like a JJ, and the other ones kind of look like peens. I don't know if that was done on purpose, but that's what it ended up looking like.
It was done on purpose. Yeah,
okay.
it was because. But anyways,
and it makes sense for how they impregnate you.
Massive vagina, and I was kind of there for it.
Was it like used as a vagina? Like, was it supposed to be a vagina, or was it like something else? Okay,
it was.
I haven't seen it, but I'm just like, are you trying to tell me they had a giant vagina that's supposed to be a giant vagina doing giant vagina things?
No, I can't give it away. You'll know it when you see it. When you see it, you'll be like, "Wow, that's the vagina Heidi was referring to." And if Veronica Cartwright was on that set, she would have been like, "Oh my God, this is the biggest vagina of all the vaginas." Because they were, I think in the original Alien, they had the face huggers. They turned them upside down, and I guess they put oysters and stuff in them. So just like a bunch of like clitorises and like
that's exactly what the face huggers look like. In one angle, they look of a JJ, and then when they do the wraparound and they go to quote unquote impregnate you, there's a dick down your throat.
Oh yeah. There's this one scene actually. I'm still getting triggered by it. It's in the trailer where they're trying, like it's trying to put it in the mouth of the one guy, like kind of like, and he's like, "Oh, get away from me!"
Yes, I'm not talking. Like if that's
I'm sealing my lips. There's spider badges. Spider badges. But no, what was I going to say? Actually, what was really funny, because originally when they came up with the concept of what they were going to do,
appreciate that, Carl.
It was, "Hey, I've got it. If we want this person to carry the alien onto the ship, why don't we have him get fucked by the alien, and then they impregnate him, but they do it by the mouth." So that's basically how they described it, that he was mouth fucked.
I mean, it's double being fucked, because you're assaulted on the way in, and then it busts out your chest. You're assaulted on the way out too. So
that's why it's so horrifying. Like, I think that's
horrific.
Why it's I was super triggered by that, like that.
Yes, exactly.
Don't do a screen grab with me doing that, Carl.
Like, I just like, and you're in the situation, and your first thing is to scream. My mouth is
not at all. Absolutely not.
You have to rip them off. I got to rip them off and bust through my teeth. I'm not opening nothing.
Yes, I do tonight. Just tonight, Carl. I actually have a funny
tonight. I was about to say, you must not know her.
It was so funny because
you think.
I keep getting notices from that from YouTube that my videos can't be monetized.
Listen, the way I'm like review.
They're doing that a lot with like
Yeah.
everyone's from what I'm hearing.
It's because I keep saying cunt. I guess I'm not supposed to say that.
Listen, I had to cut back on saying what the
At
fuck,
least not in the first 10 minutes.
No,
Not in the first 10.
No, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. As
Oh my
someone
God,
Also,
they got
for
viewers.
the whole video, wow.
Because you know I
That's
cut out.
terrible.
I actually
they
swore
were
on
hitting my
David's show and he
videos
asked me not to. And
nobody
I said, I'm
business.
so sorry.
I remember hearing that, Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one can hear you scream in space.
Yes, because you've got a face hugger stuck in your throat.
Well, I mean, no, it's space is a vacuum.
Yeah.
Sound don't.
That's why
sound
space
don't
scares
travel.
me. That's why
Species is
space.
terrifying.
I like
Species. I like Species.
Yeah, it's pretty terrifying. But what's her name in the
Young
actress
Michelle
in that
Williams.
is
She's little baby Michelle
stunning.
Williams, and then I can't remember the older actress. I
can't remember her name, but she was absolutely stunning. No, I'm not.
what's
These
her
are my
name?
fantasies. These are just, this is what I observe.
Weird fantasy obsessions.
I'm not obsessed with giant badges and penises.
Natasha Henstridge, that's her name.
That's it.
Natasha
That's
Henstridge,
it.
she's
Yes.
stunning. Yeah.
She was like one of the go-to blondes in the 90s
She was,
for
yeah.
shows like this.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go back and watch that movie because somebody mentioned it recently and I was like, I remember it being really, really good. Okay. So, now that I've gone on this rampage, rant about Alien, I just want to come back. This is probably not going to be that hard for you guys, but who is the one character that you could not fucking stand? That you were like, this guy, I want to take his head and smash it against the wall. It doesn't have to be a guy, by the way. It could be a lady as well.
It's a tie for me.
Oh, you have two. Okay.
It's a tie. And they're both the same people, technically. You know what I'm talking about. Allison and her other counterpart, Crispy Crunching Bunch.
Yeah.
Like, both of them together. Every time I saw her on the...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Every time they walked on the screen, especially if it was Crispy, because boy, get your life. Look, I've been saying since the beginning, okay? Rhaenyra's Guild of Evil Exes get on my nerves in the worst way. I can't stand them. Like you, especially with Allison and all the BS that she went through. First, you kidnapped this man and made him carry all your stuff out to the woods for how many ever days you was having your little quiet breakdown. Right. You didn't even let him get a little half a space of the tent. No, he got to sleep just out there on the bushes.
Not even
but
that.
Then
but think about the ramifications of going out there with the queen and coming back with the dead queen
alone. Like what was he? If I was him and something happened, I wouldn't go back. I would just be over in Essos chilling. Because that's just absurd. Like you had every chance still. Rhaenyra was giving you so much freaking grace. Trying to get you to make your boy see some sense, and you blew it until shit really went left. And now, because of the love we used to have as friends, bitch, didn't you just tell me it was too late? It's too late. No, go away. And Crispy over here crying still about Allison.
Let me ask you this question: do you think that because we have a really good villain, right? We have a good villain in A.A. Mond. But with Krispy Kreme, do you think that the showrunners realize what an annoying character they've created? Like, do you think they did it on purpose?
I think that was his story because him and Aemon were like buddy. They wanted the same thing. We want to get Rhaenyra out of here for different reasons. We want to get her out of here. We're going to do this. We want to get these dragons out here. We want to do all this stuff. The problem is that Aemon is used to dragons. He's not really scared of dragons. Crispy Crunch has only been around calm dragons and never been around or had the realization of dragon.
He's
war.
never been in battle with
the
a
dragons
dragon.
would be like, that's my friend, we can't hurt them over here. But it was really like, y'all all in my way, I'm trying to get this
and then he fucked around and saw what a dragon really looks like, especially fighting another dragon, and he was forever changed upon that day. Go back. He became even more annoying, and he was the number one person saying, let's use the dragons.
Let's do this.
Well, you got your wish, and you're still not happy,
and it was way more than he expected. He was not ready, and now he wishes that he could go back and listen to the counsel that was given to him from like 3 different people. If he hadn't got rid of the King's Guard and been killing people left and right and been firing people, those people were older. They're around long enough to understand dragon fights and understand that nobody wants this. Nobody.
If you wouldn't have allowed yourself to be up in Amon's head, also always in his ear, he was going to actually be the right one to rule. No, because now I think you realize that with him on the throne, shit's gonna be even worse.
I think it was the reverse. I think
so?
That Amon was all up in Crispy's ear, making him feel like he's the lieutenant that he needed. Because
I noticed as soon as
and you know what, I could see
power,
that
he replaced him.
He dropped Allison real quick. Yep.
So for me, like, I didn't find Allison as terrible as Crispy
Crunch. Yeah.
Crispy. By the way, I think I told you, like, I don't know who came up with Krispy Kreme, but I put something about it before the season began, and I got dogpiled by people who were like, "How dare you?" I guess the Greens. And I'm like, seriously?
I want to say it was Tati. I think I heard it from Tati
Tatiana.
First.
Okay.
Shut your whore mouth.
But who cares what they talk about? What?
But I was
wait. What are they upset about?
What they were telling me I was like that I was immature and calling him that
because you called him Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, and based on my photo that like I look like a Karen, and I don't know, they came up with all these other things.
Yeah, the problem is that Team Green in like real life align themselves with like the highest moral standing. Like we believe in like order. We believe in the guy being the king, and she shouldn't be that. So they're already up there like they're already.
But y'all over here
you're talking about a strong man. It's like you're weak and you're stupid and you're in, and I'm just like.
Like y'all really watching all of this nonsense that this fool is running around doing, and you're supporting that, but you're mad that people are supporting Damon and all of his fucksery.
Yes,
it's the exact same. And that's the thing. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. I think that you could see that is a clear difference in fans of Team Black and fans of Team Green. Team Black, we know Damon ain't shit.
Come on.
We know he has issues. Yeah. We know Uncle C is on some bullshit, especially with how he's been treating his sons. We know this. We know Rhaenyra is seriously about to be on some war crime shit. And you know what? We're backing them anyway. Why? Because they're the ones that are actually supposed to be on the throne. No matter how y'all try to switch it, and flip it, dip it, whatever, the king said what the king said. You're supporting the wrong side, whether you like it or not. You just need to accept that.
I feel like it's more of a moral argument too, because people like to be morally better than everyone else. Well, I think that,
which is absurd, because they both out here doing crimes,
and this is better, then this is the right side, and you're on the wrong side because what I am morally correct. It's like being morally better than anybody else, and that's the problem with the green team, is that they think that their team is morally better, but this season, green team was on some
exactly. So and so you know what? That's the thing. That's the thing that that's probably why they came at you like that, Heidi, because there's very few things that they can say that are actually good about Team Green now. Maybe you had a couple things that you could have actually backed in season 1, but here, no.
Well, for
see, we Team Black knew from the beginning exactly where this was going.
Well, for me, like Damon, he's a rogue if there ever was one. They always say, but you know what? He's always interesting. He's always compelling. Whereas Cole, I just find him like he's kind of sad and pathetic and boring.
He's super pathetic.
Yeah. So Damon, like he's not a good person. He's not. But he is, but he's always interesting, always compelling. And I think Matt Smith, he does an amazing job.
Oh, Matt Smith has been amazing.
I don't hold anything against, obviously, the actor who plays Kristen.
Fabian? Is it Fabian or Fabian?
Fabian. See, and that's another thing with these idiots. They ran this man off of all of his social media because they're out here threatening him. Like, yo, fans, do y'all know that these are fake people? We're talking about
this is the same thing.
Actors don't have a damn thing to do with their characters. What is wrong with y'all? Calm down. Go touch some fucking grass. Turn off the TV. Turn off your computer, please.
I feel like what irritates me more about Crispy Crunch is that his motivations for doing what he's doing is stupid.
Yep,
it's stupid. Okay, Damon, he wants to be king, or he wants to have power, which I get. That's a reasonable. You're doing all of this because you're upset that a princess who is going to be a queen one day would not abandon everything she has known to go live with you and fuck around with some oranges.
Being a damn sellsword across the narrow sea.
What,
if I am heir
sword.
to the fucking exactly, what was she gonna be doing? And what y'all gonna do with Cyrax? Where's she gonna go? Did you even think about what was actually happening? And I will give the caveat of I will give the small caveat, because this was a thing that was talked about a lot in season 1.
I just sat here and cleared my glasses for a whole 2 minutes, and I got a streak
and it doesn't matter. Yeah, the joys of wearing glasses. Yeah, but what I will say about that night between Rhaenyra and Crispy is, no, Rhaenyra was 100% in the wrong for getting that man into bed. That was straight up assault. That was absolutely straight up assault.
However,
it was a power play. But that doesn't mean that he still isn't garbage, because he is. You knew exactly what this was gonna be. Okay, you may not have ever done it again, even if you wouldn't have lost your damn mind and did that bullshit at the wedding. Whatever, you knew what it was. You really thought the heir to the throne of this gigantic dynasty was going to just walk away from all of that, walk away from her comfortable clothes, from having everything that she could ever need just at her fingertips, walk away from her badass dragon to go fuck around and do what? Watch you maybe get a job fighting some people?
And it's also a sign of sort of the patriarchy too, right? Because if it was reversed, let's say Kristen was a woman and Rhaenyra was a man, like, you know,
would have never went like that.
It would have never been asked.
It would have never happened.
Never would have been asked. Like, your job is to stay here
100%.
I need you to.
Yeah,
exactly. And shush, don't tell nobody.
The mistress would have probably been like, sure, of course, that sounds like a good deal.
Exactly. Like, as long as I get privileges.
But I have to say, actually, I remember once my sister, who's 10 years older than me, almost 10 years older than me, she said something that I said when I was 16. And I was like, are you actually holding me responsible for something that I did when I was a teenager? Like, really? And that's how it sort of feels like with him. Like, I think she was 16 or 17, let's say. And you know, you could say, okay, back then, a 16-year-old would be more like an 18 or 20-year-old. Okay, fair. Whatever.
But still,
she might have been even 14. I'm not sure. But the fact that he still is holding a girl responsible for and
it's been
holding that resentment,
decades,
holding on to it, like, he needs some serious therapy. Like, I don't
both
know
him and Allison do. It's been
both do.
decades, and y'all still mad at this girl for the same shit.
Yeah. Do the Maesters not do some kind of counseling? Maybe they need some like group.
I don't think they have that kind of training.
The Maesters are like,
well, no, not all the Maesters. No, Maester Ertwile, he minds his business. He does what he needs to do. He's also another good honorable mention as an awesome character.
By the way, he's also in Chaos. He's fantastic in it. Did you recognize him in there?
I've only got to episode 2.
Oh, okay. So I won't spoil it then.
Okay.
Second Game of Thrones character, or House of the Dragon, I guess.
Yeah, I only got up to
some
episode
family
3.
Therapy. Yeah, they need
therapy individually. They need group therapy, family therapy, all of that.
I can't. But yeah, I think that's the reason why I hate him so much. Is because his motivations are stupid.
His motivation is stupid, and his reasoning is even more absurd.
Now, Allison last season, I felt like I kind of was like, all right, I could totally see her point of view. But this season, she's again like, and I mean, I kind of blame the writers a little bit, because they've pulled back on trying to make her too much like a Cersei. Like, I kind of wanted her to be more like a Cersei, but still like love to hate her. Whereas in this case, it's just like, she's just so kind of like pathetic again.
I feel like that's just her character being bumbly. She likes to think that she has the best plans. She has the best plans. She's the smartest person.
She's got the best. I've got the best plans.
The best plans. I've got a concept of a plan that's the best plan that has ever planned.
In that regard, I will say that they did succeed in making her like Cersei, because the number one thing that I will always say about Cersei that I think everyone will agree with is what Tywin said about his own daughter. You're not as smart as you think you are. I know you have designs on plans of what you want to do, but this ain't it, baby. Okay, you're gonna do what I told you to do, and if you don't, well, we might have some problems then. Because if you really go through,
he was the one who was shot on the privy, and she wasn't.
Yeah.
And
well, no. Fair enough. That was the end of his story. That's where he was supposed to end up. But if you go back and you look at some of the bigger things that Cersei is tied to in the books, every last one of them backfired.
Everything. Oh God,
every my favorite last one of them. People? Backfired. And I'm not talking about just the show. I'm also talking about the books. With that great master plan she came up with, Jaime getting on the Kingsguard, that was her doing. Gosh. Jaime didn't want to be on the Kingsguard. He did that so they could stay in King's Landing together. But then, oh wait, now some shit got fucked up, and I can't marry Rhaegar now. So now your brother is in King's Landing, and you got to go back to Casterly Rock. How'd that work out for you?
Some of it maybe it's kind of like there's a prophecy, or there's a something that's ordained, and you're trying to. It's kind of like Oedipus. You're trying to fight against the prophecy, and then in the end, you actually fulfill the prophecy, or chaos. Like
at that point for them to that move had nothing to do with prophecy. That was really Tywin getting her thinking that she was going to be marrying Rhaegar, and she thought that she could play 2 steps ahead on the chessboard and have her brother already stationed there waiting for them to continue their fuckery behind Rhaegar's back, but it didn't work out.
I just want to comment on Quan. Is it Quan?
Oh, what is Quan saying?
Basically, you already addressed this, but Kristen Cole could have lost his life for sleeping with the princess, and Rhaenyra basically forced herself on him.
Yeah, I said that.
He kind of justified being mad. You said
I
said that.
I don't think that's why he's mad. I think that happened, and he was like, well, he's more mad that she's not doing what he wants her to do.
What he wants. Yeah.
Because he feels like you should be able to follow me anywhere I because we're together, and me and the man, you should follow me.
Exactly. No, see to like the first part of what he was saying. No, we fully recognize that was assault.
Oh yeah, that was.
And I said, I don't know what time you came in, Quan, but I said that when I was going over that scene. She absolutely was in the wrong for that. 100%.
And then it happened again with Alicent, because she also has a power dynamic with him.
And he ain't saying none of this shit to her. Why? Because he's still low-key getting what he wants, because he's using her as a power play to move up. The only reason he is in the small council meetings is because she's there. Because if y'all remember, Barristan Selmy was head of the Kingsguard. And when did we see him in small council meetings? Never. Why? Because the man knew he had a job to do, and that job was not at that table. But here Crispy is all the time being where he's not supposed to be. Here she is also being where she's not supposed to be, which is why another key point for Aemond, Aemon, as we like to call him, is he got her ass all the way together. This ain't where you're supposed to be. Okay, we got this. You can go find some more domestic things to do. And she tried to pull the sweet mommy card, rubbing his face, and a bit, bitch, you know it's too late for that, right? What are you doing? He dismissed her in the most proper fashion, and I loved seeing that scene.
I was mentioning on social media, I would have loved to have seen her kind of do something back at him, force him to marry the girl from the
done something.
Girl. I would have loved to. I just wanted to see something, her going off into the woods, the camp trip, and then lying in the water and being purified, apparently
finding herself,
going to the spa.
Bro, what else were you doing? Taking a bath? You wanted a silent bath?
Does have
you wanted to whip
that poor guy.
She does have some decently clever things going on, and also I will say, and this was season 1, not this season, but I don't like that they didn't fully put both of them on the villain persona that they did, because that dinner that they had, that last dinner before the Crypt Keeper really went to the 9th level and was falling apart. They both knew each other so well in the book that they both decided to be messy. and they both decided how to be messy in the exact same way. They came in wearing each other's house colors, flip-flop, and it was meant to be mockery. And that was a very key moment, but they didn't do that for whatever reason. She went to go cry. She don't go cry in the car.
You can't see it crying because it would have been in the water.
Exactly. Like, let me just dunk my face real quick.
And that I think that was their reasoning for that. So yeah, there are some things that they could have done with her that would have been a little more clever and not made her look like the ridiculousness that she is now. But I do still get why they're playing it this way, because I mean, again, say what you want to say. We all know where this story is going to end, and in the end, the right side is on the throne. So,
oh,
for those of y'all that I'm not clarifying that, just for those of y'all that don't know,
my favorite movie of all time.
What's
all
that?
gone now, like
It's Blade
Tears in
Runner.
the Rain.
See, I went anime. I was like, it's a terrible day for Rain.
Well, it was again, we talked about Blade Runner last night. Yes.
Funny that Carl brought up Blade Runner there. We were talking about aliens. Are you aware of the theory that they are all in the same universe?
Yes, I
just now found that out, and I went on a deep dive on YouTube and went through like a long supercut of the timeline between Aliens, Predator, and Blade Runner, and I said, "Well, shit, I didn't know that." And it's not even. I'm not saying it's tinfoil. It actually is. Ridley Scott.
Heard it in the last few weeks.
Yeah, Ridley Scott originally meant all of that to be connected.
Well, it was
it's really
cool. He
was
kind of working on everything around this, like it was all around the same time. Like apparently he was supposed to be doing a movie of Tristan Isolde, and
Tristan and Isolde,
yeah, it fell apart or something, and so then he pivoted into Alien, and then on the back of that was Blade Runner, and so so one was like horror science fiction, the other one was sort of more a true science fiction. But Carl, you probably know this, but the actor who plays the replicant, what's the actor's name?
Which one?
You'll know it. He's the one who came up with that line. It was like an ad lib line. Rutger Hauer. Sorry, Rutger Hauer.
Rutger Hauer, yeah, that's it.
Oh, so good. Yeah, so I know I've been watching all these videos like all week. I've been watching stuff about the engineers, because Prometheus didn't get as good. It didn't do as well, but I actually think it's pretty interesting. And a lot of people are now coming out and saying, I actually really like Prometheus. So I think it's, I think the fans are coming back to some of the,
I think it's
the lore
in the way. Yeah. I think it's in the way that everything has been presented. Is what it is, because it's been so many years in between getting different parts of the story going, so it somewhat seems disjointed, but it like once you see things in the timeline order, it all fits, it all makes sense. It's actually a pretty brilliant way to create a universe that you don't even think should all be together, but it works. So kudos to Ridley Scott for thinking it up.
Though, for Ridley Scott, like, I mean, imagine like this is something that you are, you had such a big, that and Blade Runner, like those two amazing properties.
This is legendary. He will always be remembered in film, because Blade Runner, when that first came out, and look at how technology is now to what it was back then, and Blade Runner still holds up.
It does. I think I've told you guys probably that it's my husband's and my favorite movie. That's why we got married. And actually I have a Blade Runner. I even have like a director's cut. Like I have this whole kit here.
Nice. See, you are a collector just like Meeks and I.
Yeah, we got it. Jack and I got it for like a Christmas one year, because we were like, oh, what do we need? Oh, let's get that. It's like got 5 director. Anyway, so
Hello,
we went on a date. If I'm repeating myself, I'm so sorry. We went on a date and I said to him, what's your favorite movie? And he's like, actually I think it would be Blade Runner. And I'm like, oh, that's my favorite movie. And then we got married.
The end.
Yeah, right. I went over to his house and he had a big DVD collection, and I went through all of his DVDs, and I'm like, yes.
See, this is why I keep saying that me and him would be friends, because I have walls full of DVDs and books and whatnot, even movies I don't like.
He had
I have a bunch of
Wicker
movies
Man,
that I don't like because my
Yeah.
collections need to be complete.
Hi Sabina. He had Wicker Man, the original, not the Nicolas
Not the
Cage
Nick
one.
Cage
And
one.
he had like Evil Dead, but he had like this version of it. It looked like the Dead book, like the skin and everything.
The
of
Necronomicon.
The Necronomicon, yeah. He had that, and he had Logan's Run, which is one of my other favorite movies of all time. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna end up with this guy for sure. And I
Working in
did.
the costume industry, of course. Yeah,
Yes. And
that's
he's
such a great match.
He's a creative person too. So yeah.
Isn't he
So
a physicist by trade?
he is actually he's an audiovisual guy. So
Okay.
he works in like he does like projections and like those giant video screens. That's what he does. Like when you go to a concert or a show or whatever, that's what
But
he does,
he studied like physics or whatnot, because I remember when we were talking about the Expanse.
He's very much into science.
You said that he was like explaining all the background minutia of all of the how the ships worked and stuff.
So
see, that is cool. I would love to have someone that is an expert like that watch
so
with me.
much. He knows he watches a lot of like he reads a lot and he watches a lot of YouTube on like hard science, and he can sit and watch like a 2-hour documentary on hard science and I'll be like falling asleep.
Same.
But he's just like,
oh, that's so it's so fascinating.
He is, he's really good, and he's very talented in that way. And so the Expanse, I would be like, what's happening here? What's happening? And he would have to explain it to me.
You married an Uber nerd, and that is awesome.
I'm really lucky.
I love that for both of you.
Oh, thanks. Sorry, guys, to go off on a
tangents.
my personal
As you can see, that's not my thing.
It's yeah. Well, see, the Expanse is your thing, but the science of it all, that's
well, I enjoyed the Expanse. I enjoyed it from the characters and from like just the story. But
can I tell you
Jack
a secret?
Loved the science aspect because it's so accurate. Oh, so go ahead. What's your secret?
I still haven't watched the last season of The Expanse.
Oh, you should. It's excellent. It's fantastic.
It's so good.
I know, but I don't want it to be over.
I know.
Because weren't we supposed to? Well, yeah, aren't we supposed to have at least like one movie?
There's supposed to be a movie, but I don't know I don't know if they're going to.
Yeah,
but they should.
Yeah, it was in the plans that they would do like a 2 or 3 like direct to Prime movies, but I haven't heard much buzz on it since that first announcement. All women love the concept.
Yeah, hard, thick science. Yeah, sometimes he'll be watching. Like yesterday, he was watching something, and I'm like, "Oh my god, can we watch something else? This is just like killing me. I don't know what you're watching, but it's so hard science." But he'll be like, we'll watch a science fiction movie, and he'll be like, "Oh, that drives me crazy. That doesn't happen." Like explosions in space, or like.
Yeah, the sound of it all.
The sound in space. Yeah. But they do it, they're trying to create atmosphere. But it was
it's audio visual, so you have to have that in there.
Yeah. So anyway, so we've gone through all the least favorite characters. So what was
episodes? Said what were episodes were on the list too?
Sure. Do you want to do that? I was going to ask you what made you the most happy in this season? Do you want to do that first, and then what made you the least happy? Like what did you think was the best part of season 2, and then what did you think was like, oh wow, I can't believe
I don't even need to think about that.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, my absolute part, and you could see it. Shameless plug if you go over and watch my reactions on my channel. Yeah, what the finale episode I think is an episode that a lot of folks said was a bit lackluster and whatnots, and I understand why, but at the same time, the lore that was in that was brought in that little weirwood dream where the old god said, okay, you know what, we're done fucking around with you, Damon, you got shit to do that we need you to hurry up and do, so here, tap in, catch this vision, and then go do what the hell we need you to do. You've been playing around for way too long. We got to get the ball rolling. So all that's is it's the favorite scene.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that
when you talk
whole
about when
that
Damon
whole
puts his
that
hand
whole
on the
section.
tree, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all that whole werewood dream. I mean, there's little moments obviously throughout the whole season with Alice that I thought were hilarious with her and her witchiness. And again, yeah, hashtag don't drink the damn obia juice. And yeah, that whole sequence kind of just like brought in that super heavy lore, and it tapped in all of like everything from Game of Thrones right back in, and again coming up with the Song of Ice and Fire visions that Aegon had. That scene just wrapped everything up in a nice little bow for me, of the things that are seen yet kind of unseen. If you like, it's kind of like if you know, if you're not tapped in, then you're not going to notice all of it happening. So I love that scene. I thought it was really good.
Here, guys, I'll be right back.
No problem.
If you want to keep going,
okay,
I'll be right back.
Cool.
Okay, so
go ahead, Meeks.
That's actually mine as well. It's not even just that scene; it's the entire the lore and the magic throughout the season.
Yes,
because we got. I'm really disappointed that they took it out of Game of Thrones. Because you could have done so much with it. They took it completely out of Game of Thrones. It was just gone. All of a sudden, the magic and the dreams and
it
the picture was promised, and nothing.
Everything.
Nothing came up from it.
What
nothing
the
happened.
fuck was the point of John if y'all didn't make him the prince that was promised to kill the Night King?
Nothing. So
like,
in this show, I just like the fact that not only were they dropping the lore stuff, like with Helena seeing things, Helena, like in season 1, she was just like mentioning stuff as a kid.
He'll have to close an eye.
To her being older and not saying it out loud anymore, but just being like, I hear it, I see it. People look at me crazy when I talk about it. So I'm just going to mention it to myself, as in like,
and make sure I make the right moves. Yes.
Yeah. And so like, I understand Helena's reasoning for that. So I just like seeing the little bits and pieces of lore that was dropped in, the hints of magic that was just dropped into the entire season, because it is important and it plays a big part.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love that. Like, oh, you could say, you know, going back into season 1, pulling it up with the journey, like that, us first seeing the cat spa back, that was spectacular, and all of the lore that's around that now, you know, kind of gave it like a bit of the One Ring nostalgia with seeing the letters. When you put that Velaryon blade in fire, then you see what's actually going on, and then all the way up to this, to where Viserys wanted so badly to be a dreamer, but no, you were only meant to ever have that one little vision, and please act accordingly, which he somewhat did, but he kind of did drop the ball a lot, and it moved on to Helena just being a beast on the magic level, and I'm so glad they did not shy away from that at all. It all worked out so very well. And Adam, hello Adam, welcome to the chat, saying I was really shocked the real Green Man lore wasn't enough to quell Gurm's fury. Yeah, actually,
I just feel like he should have just said something.
I could see why you say that. Yeah, like why wait till now? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and
if you really didn't like it, you should have said something. Should have said something. It should be like, this is really important. Fix it
ahead of time.
For some reason, what happened?
And hello, Raina. First, is that your actual name, or did you get that name from the Wheel of Time? I'm curious. First episode, seeing the wall was great, and I was shocked how much Aegon and his dragon love each other. Literally, the only being that Aegon has ever showed nothing but love to is his dragon, and I feel like that's so sad for him. And I know we talk shit about it a lot, but I do feel a little bit bad because he kind of did get dealt a horrible hand.
He did, but that's what happens when you take responsibilities you know you didn't want. Somebody else who wanted the responsibilities and who was planning to take them, and you were like, well, I think this is kind of cool.
You let your mom who don't even really like you. Let's remember, Alicent has never liked any of her kids since they were tiny. That you let her hype your head up. Your grandpa came in and he saw the fuck shit and he tried to call you out, but you was already on your power trip by then. So
bye, kitties.
It was a wrap.
Bye, kitties.
See you, kitties. Thanks for coming through.
Sorry, did you guys talk about your favorite moment and your least favorite, or you just
this is still our favorite moment. Like we had the same favorite moment.
Oh, it was the werewood, right?
It was just mine was more like the lore of the entire season.
Yes,
but I just liked the lore and the magic of the entire season. But that culminated in the werewood. So yeah.
I was going to say
Yeah.
I'm
What was
having a
yours?
really hard time with this, but I'm going to say that I think maybe it was Adam of Hull being chased, and then
Oh,
by sea smoke,
yes. Yeah.
and then
Oh, that's
because
so
it was
good.
kind of like
Peekaboo.
it was so sweet, and also just kind of like I was really
Oh my God, I
happy
have
for
a
him at the
meme
same
for that.
time.
I have a meme for that.
Oh my God. This is so peekaboo. That little baby was
So
trying to
cute.
get he was trying
Look,
to get him.
see-
He was like, I see my man.
Sea Smoke has been clocking him since episode 1, and he got tired of waiting. Like, look, bruh, why you ain't come get me? Okay, you know where the dragon pit is. No, not the dragon pit, because they're on Dragonstone. But he knew where to go to find them dragons.
Like I was
Come
dropping
on,
my
I will
address
also-
on little notes.
Right.
Come see.
I will also, since you brought up Alan, I believe his brother also deserves to be on the table here,
Yes.
because that scene where he completely dressed down Uncle C,
Oh,
100
so good.
fucking percent
Mhm.
absolute facts. Auntie Nisi tried to tell you before she was taken from this world. She tried to tell you, you should have been brought these boys in. What the hell is wrong with you? And he
Yep.
ignored her till the end, and now you want to act like you want to help, bruh. Do you know what hunger does to a boy? And let's not forget that damn journey. Their mom had passed away, and he was fending not just for himself but for his little brother. And he's close enough to see you walking by with your Richie Rich and proud of the legitimate son that you had, but you got these kids out here like scraps. I thought that he was doing what the folks the French used to do, like back in the day when they were colonizing over here, like down in the areas of like New Orleans, Louisiana, and whatnot. They had their side mulatto kids, but they didn't leave them out there. They just had them like in a whole other neighborhood away from their quote unquote real family, and them kids were hooked up. They were able to get educations where a lot of people of color were not. In that day and age, they were living very rich. Uncle C, you could have did this. You could have did this, and Auntie Nisi would not have given you any flack. She told you, but don't lie to me, Corlys. I know who he is. Like, come the fuck. She probably
and I
looked right
wonder,
at
does he
him and
have,
saw that
does he
in
have
his face.
other children as well, or is it just those two?
I wouldn't put it past him. No, I think he has some
Hi,
kids
Jackie.
with Lohar. Not specifically with Lohar, but some of the women that are in Lohar's harem. I will believe that.
I wouldn't believe the harem part, but yes, everything like on other continents.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Not
right, because he is the most. He is well traveled. He is the most decorated and traveled seafarer that we know from this story. So I'm very sure he's got a couple kids in the Summer Isles at least.
Listen,
Natural says he could have given them a ham.
He could have
something.
Split a plate.
It's
something you could have.
Example
bro,
of like the 1%. Isn't that sort of an example
A
of the
little bit.
1%?
Yeah.
They don't.
I mean,
they're
like
in their own
low-key,
little bubble.
Let's say he wanted to go ahead and be cheap, although it doesn't make sense that he treated these boys like this.
He's the richest man in Westeros.
But
here's the
exactly. So I'm saying he wants to be cheap with them. You could at least got them a little apartment in Flea Bottom, like at the bare minimum, my dude.
What's cheap to us is different from what's cheap to people who have money.
Yeah.
So even if it was cheap, it still would have been more than enough. He could have been like, I could have, I got like a couple change. I got like five gold coins in my pocket. You give somebody regular 5 gold coins, that's it. I'm getting the things that I need, and it's gonna last for a while.
5 gold dragons will get you a lot.
Exactly. So that's to him.
You could have taken care of these kids, man.
So he could have. He just decided not to.
And he decided to ignore them the whole time. And then you give him this promotion here when he is a full, big back, grown ass, muscular, handsome man talking about you trying to help him. And he even Alan even gave him. Is it Alan or Adam?
Alan is the one who dressed down Corlys.
Adam is the one who has the sea smoke.
And Adam has sea smoke, right? So
I know I kept getting it screwed up all season.
Yeah, I did too. So everything that Alan said right there is so many facts. Like Uncle C, it does not make sense at all that you didn't take care of these 2 boys. They were literally right there. You wouldn't have even had to go far to do anything. They were in the streets while you and the rich
He wouldn't have
other
had
rich
to do
folk were
anything
walking
himself.
by.
He could have had somebody else do it. He could have been like, here,
exactly. Look, prime example, Gendry. Simple.
Yes.
Simple. Drop him off. The boy's learning a trade. He's fed. He's got a roof over his head. Anything. That's like the bare minimum that was done for Robert's bastards. Maya Stone, she actually had a really great life before he actually started the rebellion and went down south. He wanted to even take Maya with him, but he knew Cersei would probably did something to her, so he wanted to protect her. That's why he left her in the Vale. That's the only reason he left her in the Vale. So even Robert, at that point in time, he's trash now, but back then, even he was thinking about making sure his bastards were good. So that, and I mean, I'm sorry, when it comes to kids, if you are doing worse than Robert Baratheon, something's wrong with you. I didn't want to have beef with you this season, Uncle C, but this is my beef. You're better than this. You should have acted accordingly. Alan gave him so much grace. And also Adam to not even say anything immediately to Rhaenyra, like, yo, that's my pops. Your hand is my dad. I just want you to know that. That's why I can ride the dragon. They have no reason to protect him, but they still are. Even in his rage, when he's yelling at him, he's still giving him grace because he could go and tell every man on that crew that, yo, that's my dad. He gave him also, when he asked for clarification, like, are you giving me this promotion like you're ordering me to take it, or are you asking?
Yeah.
You could have been a father proud of his son and asked him to do that versus making him feel like he had to take that order. And you dropped the ball still. That was your final shot. So now you gonna catch all that smoke. That's it.
Okay. So what about your least favorite?
Also real quick for what Jackie just said here, Robert only really took care of Edric. Actually, he didn't. He left Edric with Courtney Penrose, I think it was, who's there, and he only did that because he had to do that because Edric's mom was a royal. She was in the noble class, so he had no choice but to acknowledge that. I'm sorry, you said where are we going to now, Heidi?
Oh, sorry. I was just reading through this. What is your least favorite moment in
least favorite moment?
This is hard. This is super hard.
Mine's just easy, only because of frustrationals. My least favorite moment, Harrenhal. I was fucking sick of goddamn Damon wasting time playing. Like, sir, you know what the stakes are. You know what? Harrenhal also got sick of you because the powers that be there was like, bitch, touch the fucking tree.
The
and get
old
this
gods, yes. The
so
old
you can
gods
do
told
what
Alice,
you need to do. Shit, why are you still here playing games, acting like you're not finna do what you finna do? Move.
You know what? I think I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. I think that is also my least favorite moment. Like collectively, it's just time there.
Frustrating. It's so frustrating to see a grown man, like you know the path in front of you. You know what you need to do. People are dying around you, and you're sitting here trying to decide whether you're going to do it for yourself. And even if you did do it for yourself, it's still not enough to win because you only have one dragon.
One dragon and no troops. The only way you were going to get troops was from the little lord who you fixed your damn mouth and said with your whole chest, well, if your grandfather can't talk and he's still in charge, kill him and then we can get on to moving, because like if you're not gonna bring me some soldiers, then I got no use for you. And
it wouldn't happen for them anyways. It wouldn't happen because they're loyal to the crown. They're loyal to Rhaenyra, the queen. So they would have. They're loyal to the crown. Him.
They're loyal to the crown, but I think for their situation, more importantly, they're loyal to the Tullys. All of the Rivermen, they're loyal to House Tully, and that's why it was specific.
Was loyal to the crown. So even if Daemon would like to break off by himself, they would still be like, "What are you doing? You're now against the crown." Which
like, wait, hold on, you said you're raising an army for you, bro. Hold on, wait. Let's check the books, check the parchments. Heir to the throne, Rhaenyra Targaryen. Your name's not Rhaenyra, sir. You are not signed into the lineage in that fashion. So
that's not how that works.
Roll up the scroll. Yeah, we're gonna have to tell you no. And the Riverlands delegation does not approve your application.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I just
for
felt like it was
for help. No,
giant waste of time for Daemon to be Hemming and Hawing when he didn't need to be Hemming and Hawing. Like everybody else was like, so we have to do this, right? And he was like, well, maybe not. That's why Strong was like one of the best characters, because he was over here just had to deal with him. He had to walk him through baby steps about what's going on. Like, oh, you're not sleeping well. They say that about these walls. Things, cause you to not sleep well. Are you being busy?
And he was checking him. He was checking him every time. And I feel like, again, Lord Simon, the Lord we didn't know that we needed. Lord him. Simon, I probably also was very tapped in, because all that random stuff that was happening with Daemon, Lord Simon didn't bat an eye at any of that. So he's probably had those same visions. He knows what was going down. He knows where his loyalty is. And the minute, you can call him a snitch if you want to, I don't care. The minute he saw some fuck shit going on with Daemon and the other dumbass that came down there, he said, oh, well, not on my motherfucking watch. No. Sent the Raven straight to Dragonstone. Exactly, and that's exactly what that man was supposed to do. Come get him. I am at my wit's end. I'm sorry. I'm trying to serve you, my queen, but this asshole is being an asshole. Can you please come get him?
Harrenhal with Daemon, it was the worst. Even though we had like a lot of enjoyable and great moments in there, Daemon just being stupid in Harrenhal is the worst.
Even so much to seeing how ridiculous what he was trying to do was, when he chopped off baby Rhaenyra's head, and he immediately dropped his sword because, oh shit, what did I just do? You're in the wrong here, but you're still out here, you hard-headed. And I think that took away a little bit from Daemon as a character. Not to say that I still like him, but they could have cut that a lot shorter.
I think the scene that really bugged me, and I guess story-wise, it probably needed to be there, and I think it's in the books, is I really hated the scene when Kristen orders Eric to sneak into Dragonstone and like assassinate Rhaenyra. Like the whole plot was just stupid, ridiculous anyway. And then but just also that was what happened? Like why was Krispy Kreme so he was upset about something? I'm trying to remember, which is why he sort of said
he was upset because he got called out, basically, because when this was right after this was the morning after, actually I think maybe like mid-afternoon after it happened, and he was in there banging the queen, and everybody is looking like, yo, where the fuck were the guards? Who I also said in the watch along, where the hell were the guards? Helena crossed not one path with the guard in that long journey to run to her mom's room. And you dropped the ball. So now you're taking it out on this young man, asking him, where were you? What was he doing? He was stationed to be protecting the king.
Yeah, because
he was right there, standing next to the chair in the throne room. That's where he was supposed to be. And I feel like good Sir Eric called it right. Like, well, where the fuck were you? You talking to me like my cloak is dirty? I'm sorry, I didn't get no sleep last night because after the poor prince was murdered, I was on the lookout searching like everybody else. Let me get this bowl of brown in my system real quick, and I will happily obey your order and get my cloak cleaned. But then Crispy went off on this bullshit, and this man had to go and fight his twin brother. And being his brother is bad enough, but I don't know if you guys know any twins. But there is a deeper connection that twins have, deeper than regular siblings, from my experience. Maybe not everyone has seen twins like that, but that is soul crushing to see how that happened. And good Sir Eric with an E, who was on Team Black and defending the queen, he did what he had to do. And I do like that they stuck very much to the book with them fighting, because they were fighting both with tears coming out of their eyes, because they didn't want to be on opposite sides of the war, but they are. and now you got this dumbass Black Ops mission to where, again, Top Flight Security is dropping the ball on Dragonstone and in King's Landing. He should have never been able to get into the damn castle that quick. And no one recognized that the guards even said, "Oh, we thought you were inside." Hey, y'all know he has a twin brother. If you thought he was inside, why did you let this asshole in? You didn't think to ask no questions. You just let him walk around freely.
It's back to the guards thing again. It's sort of
the security is horrible.
Yeah, Alicia, what I was going to say is, I had a boyfriend years ago who was an identical twin, and the movie Dead Ringers just totally freaked him out. And he said that,
oh God, I bet
the biggest thing, like his biggest fear was the idea that his brother would die before him. And so it kind of makes sense that they both had to die. I didn't have a problem with that. I think I just had a problem with the whole Krispy Kreme aspect of it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If it had been like, because obviously, I mean, Kristen is a piece of shit, right? Like, human being. I still think Laris might have had something to do with the fact that the guards weren't stationed, because he had fired all the staff, and I think we discussed that, right? He'd fired all the original staff.
I think we agreed on that.
It with his people, and then I don't know when we talked about this, the idea that perhaps he intentionally did. I don't know.
That's a theory. I know. I do remember us talking about it on your channel when we discussed that, but it does seem plausible. Maybe he did know something was coming. He's got a lot of spies everywhere, so it would make sense. And I'm sad that he would have thought he needed to actually do that, though, because what do you gain from this baby dying?
Yeah. Well, I think his sort of, I always feel like with Laris that everything is just, he's kind of like Littlefinger, like everything is just sort of like create paranoia and suspicion and not know who to trust. And then once he can kind of like throw that in, then it just then he becomes very useful to people. Like he's trying to make himself super useful, but then of course someone like Aemond is like, "Fuck you, dude! Like your little toad, get the fuck out of my."
Because Aemond sees through the bullshit. He sees through the bullshit. And he's not having it. And again, this is Sir, the foot of the Queen's third application to be hand now. And Aegon's only listening to you because he knows some fuck shit is coming and he doesn't want to die, especially in his weakened state.
Mm-hmm. He has to rely on him.
Sadly, yeah.
And also he's like, I'm a cripple, you're a cripple. Like, hey, look at us.
He's like, hey, we're the same.
You know what? That immediately came to mind. I'm a dude. We're a dude.
We're a dude.
I'm a dude. You're a dude. We're all dudes.
I'm a dude. Hey. You're a dude. He's a dude. We're all dudes.
That's what I felt like.
It's so funny because that's one of the movies my son wanted to watch. So we watched that and then we watched the sequel. It was like,
welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Welcome to Good Burger.
Random sidebar, but when it came to that show, it was great, but I still feel like Kel was always funnier than Keenan.
Yeah.
And I wish that Kel would have actually been more famous than he was over the years, because he was always fantastic.
Yeah, his lines are so quotable. Anyway, so my son was like, we have to watch this movie, and I'm like, what is this movie? And then we watched it, and then of course they made a sequel, so we watched it. So I knew exactly.
I still gotta watch that sequel.
I'm a dude. You're a dude.
That's what I felt like. So I'm just like, yeah. That's
sorry, cripple is not politically correct. I'm using it in the medieval sense of.
Well, yeah, that's what they called it. That's why we're saying it. Yeah.
So I don't mean any offense there.
Yeah. So again, public service announcement, just to remind folks, we cannot judge the way they say things or what they do by our real word standards. This is what it was for them, so that's the mindset we look at it in.
Yeah, it's funny because actually Nick Cage did this really great documentary about the origin of swear words, and so it's like, because I always say cunt, right? Like nowadays you're like, you don't say that in polite society, but back then it wouldn't have had the same sort of
It always depends on where you're from, because like specifically with that word, there was a lot of tension in some of our baby Game of Thrones tubers when we were first all getting started. And once the homie shout out Jonathan the Irish Wildling came in his country, he's Irish, if y'all didn't know. In his country, that's just regular typical slang for them.
Yeah.
So
twat?
he's
Like,
on
that word made me so
exactly.
angry.
Yeah, that too.
Twat. Hate that
like
word.
so when we're on streams together as we're all rocking, getting it together, and he's saying this word all the time, and we on the panel understand. So we're not correcting him, but I literally had people jumping into my DMs like, yo, why do y'all let him talk to you all like that? And I'm like, what do you mean? This is that he's not calling us anything derogatory. It's just a way they use their words where he's from. I'm not going to tell him to drop his heritage to make you feel comfortable. The fuck?
Actually, my college, one of my college best friends, and we worked together like in summer stock, and he used to call me and my other friend cunty whores all the time. He'd be like, you cunty whores. And it was like a term of endearment. Like we would just laugh. It was so funny.
See, look, everybody has their love language, so to speak.
Yes.
And yeah, so that's just the way it is. And I
like
try to
Thrones,
have understanding for that.
So the way they talk, they always talk about their cocks and their I'm always like, nowadays you don't really hear people talk like that. It is sort of a little bit alarming, like when you're like, oh, what is going on here? The way they were just so, or just even their bodily functions or any of that stuff. So it is like we're kind of put our own world on top of that.
I mean, like we're over here trying to be all, not offensive or nothing with everybody. And then you got Robert Baratheon coming on the stream like, God bless Bessie and her big tits. It's just what it is, man.
No, I know. Remember when he was like, Ned, you have to come down to King's Landing. The ladies, they dress so scantily on the hot summer days.
Like, bro, I'm trying to get you to come down here and run the kingdom so I can drink and whore myself to death.
Yeah.
He fully admits he's a man whore. And I kind of low-key respect him for that because he just said, honest. Look, I'm not for this.
At least he was honest about it. And even about his weight. He was very self-deprecating to his stoutness.
The damn breastplate stretcher.
I was reading that Mark Addy apparently wasn't originally supposed to play Robert. Who was the other actor? There was
Mark
somebody
Addy?
else who was supposed to.
Who? Oh,
there was another actor who was supposed to play Robert, and I'm like, I can't even imagine it being anybody but Robert by Mark Addy.
But Mark Addy, yeah, like he literally looks exactly like what Robert would look like. So a Baratheon
Brian
that
Cox.
Brian Cox.
Who is that? You got a picture?
Yeah.
Share that.
Google.
Who is that?
He is. Brian Cox isn't he in
what else was he in?
Isn't he in the Succession?
Oh, I know him. He's everywhere.
Isn't he the dad from Succession?
Yes.
I've never watched Succession. Share your screen, my lady.
Oh, you don't need to share your screen. Girl, hit the Googles. Hit them Googles. You know exactly who he is.
Okay, that's
it's not worth sharing the screen. Girl, hit them Googles.
I can do it if you want.
What is it? Brian
Cox.
It's
you know exactly who he is. He was in Gladiator, I think. Was he in Gladiator? No.
The
he was in Troy.
physicist.
He was in Braveheart.
Oh, wow. He's in There's Brian Cox, the physicist. Here he is. He's not like the most handsome man.
His face looks familiar, but hold on. Let me look at his filmography because it's not tying in for me just yet.
In case the audience don't know what we're talking about.
Dang, he was in the Born Supremacy. He's in a lot of stuff. Long Kiss Goodnight, The Ring.
Yeah, he was in Troy.
Good Omens 2.
Oh, okay. See, I saw X-Men 2 immediately. That was fucking Stryker in X-Men 2. Okay, yeah, I got you.
Now there's
interesting
Brian Cox, the physicist. This guy. I don't know if you guys have ever seen him.
No.
My husband watches all this. I
don't know. I would not. I would
like
not peg him for Robert Baratheon.
Yeah, he's not.
I feel like he'll be a good Northman.
Like he's not Northman.
I'll give you that.
A lot slimmer.
Yeah, he would. I agree with Meeks. He would definitely make a good Northman. I think. But for Robert, you needed somebody that could easily come across as boasty as fuck. and only caring about what he wants to do, and including whatever women he wants to do. Yeah, I think Mark Addy fits the profile very well.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can't imagine anybody else having done it. I mean, obviously hindsight bias or what have you.
Yeah, and actually, you know what? That's a good thought there too, Carl. Yeah, even back in the day at that time, he would have been too old to play Robert.
Yeah.
In this age. Yeah. Agreed.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, because it was funny because what was I watching recently? And I was like, wow, why is everybody so old in this? Well, you know what it was? It was Jaws. I was like, why are the parents so old in this? They look like they're the grandparents.
You gotta
like,
think about it. Think about Father of the Bride with Steve Martin.
Yeah.
And Diane Keaton. They're supposed to be in their 40s.
I know. And they were like way older, right?
They're supposed to be in their 40s.
I don't
mean like 48. They're supposed to be in their like 44, 45.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
So in Jaws, there's this one scene on the beach. Spoilers for Jaws, if anybody hasn't seen it.
It is over 2 decades old, ma'am.
So there's this mom, and she's on the beach, and her son says, "Mom, can I go in the water a little while?" Okay, 10 minutes longer. And then he goes in the water, and he's on a flotation thing, and then the shark eats him. And then the mom goes and like looks for him. And then there's a scene later where she smacks Roy Steiger or whatever his name is, Roy, the main guy, the police chief. And my husband's like, how old is she? And I'm like, she looks like she's like in her 50s. And she's supposed to be a mom of like a 10-year-old. But even the mom and dad, like the police chief and his wife, they look way older than parents of like, they have like a toddler and like a 10-year-old or something. So I don't know if that was a thing back in the 70s.
They all look old. Everybody, they just look old as hell.
Be really old.
I just felt like everybody looked old, even when they were young.
Yeah,
Carl, that apparently also was an ad-lib line.
Which is an excellent ad-lib.
Yeah, I think we're going to need
it was, yep.
I think it's Roy Steiger. Let me look it up. Because Roy Steiger, I don't know how old he was. Oh, no, that's not Roy Steiger. Roy.
BRB un momento.
Anyways, they just they digitally remastered Jaws, and now it's not Roy Scheider. Sorry, it's now on Netflix, so you can watch the digitally remastered version of of Jaws, 1977. I think it's 1977. What year is it? 1975. So I just watched that with my kids the other day. We keep watching all these old schools. We're watching like Critters.
Listen, you gotta take
so
them back.
Fun.
Before you can go forward, you gotta go back.
Totally.
You gotta go back.
Yeah. So we're watching we've been watching like the Raiders of the Lost Ark and Back to the Future and all those classic, and then some of the horror movies. I'm trying to get we watched Alien with my whole family.
Wait a minute, how old? She might have been old as hell. Hold on.
Who is that?
Wait a minute. You're gonna let. Okay, so that lady who had the kid.
Yeah.
She was born in 1929.
Oh my Lord. Jesus Christ.
And in 1975.
Oh my God. That is crazy.
I was like, that does not say 1929. Oh my God.
Well, even the mom, so she was born in 37, so 37, 47, 57, 67, 77. Yeah, so she was like 40. The mom. So, and I'm not saying that there weren't older moms, but usually in the 70s, moms would have had their kids like quite early, right? So a lot of 20 to 30 something high school kids in 80s and 90s movies too. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Right.
Stockard Channing in fucking Grease.
Oh yeah. Well,
and the cast of Grease.
I think Olivia Newton-John was like in her 30s, maybe.
The entire cast. Kaneki?
They're so old. Kaneki.
And R.I.P. Kaneki. The whole cast of 90210. Also in high school.
Oh yeah. But they didn't look old. That's the thing. That's the problem. They didn't look old.
Ian Ziering did.
Oh no, they didn't. No, they didn't look old like they didn't look old like these people looked old. Like in Greece, I could tell y'all was 40.
Well, because they always talk about how, like, if there's a video actually I watched, it's like, why did people look so much older back then? And it's like, no, it wasn't that they looked older, it's just they were older.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
So
And
it's
they
sort
did a lot
funny.
of drugs.
They
They
did.
They were doing all the things. Smoking the
Well, it's
cigarettes,
funny,
the drugs,
like-
the drinking.
Like, you know, because I rewatched Alien, like most of the cast of Alien are dead. And a lot of it is just they were like, they all smoked, you know, they drank a lot. Like, and even in Alien, they're smoking like the whole time. And
In a
with,
ship.
Jaws.
And they're just sitting
the
there
ship,
chilling.
Yeah,
In a
they're all
ship, right?
smoking.
With
In a box.
recycled air.
Yeah. Did you guys watch Sherlock?
Mm-mm.
Natural's asking.
I did not.
Nope.
I don't think I did either. I don't even know tell us who's in it. Also, everyone smoked and drank 20. They did. It's so true.
Yeah,
Carl.
back then they did.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm not sure if you heard, but the lady who was the mom who had that kid in Jaws, she was born in 1929.
Damn. Okay, yeah.
Carol said she had a baby at 18 in 1979. Well, even my mom, you know, she had 3 kids, I think, by the time she was 23.
My God.
And then she had me later. I was like a later baby. And then my grandma had all her kids like in her 20s. And then she had my mom later. But yeah, so it's like, you know,
I found this deleted scene that I told you guys about. I believe I have all of the sound things queued up. So let me know if I need to tweak anything.
I noticed that too, Jackie. Like, there's a lot of behind the scenes where a lot of the cast from House of the Dragons smoke. And I'm like, are they smoking cigarettes, like real cigarettes? Or are they smoking like clove cigarettes or what? Do people still smoke? I don't know.
E-cigarettes?
Well, most of them are non-American,
It might be,
so they would. Because
I
smoking
stopped
is
smoking.
Yeah, very true.
I used to smoke and I quit in my 30s. Oh, Jackie had a baby at 19. That's awesome, Jackie.
All right, you guys ready for this?
Yes, go ahead.
All right.
We must collect Raina and leave Dragonstone at once.
And go where?
Safe to High Tide.
High Tide won't be safe. The Greens will assume we'll plethora in here.
Be safer than Dragonstone.
If war is coming, it's coming for all of us. We cannot hide from it.
I've suffered too much loss, Raina. I cannot endure another.
I am a dragon rider. Like my mother and father and you. If the Greens reach to usurp our Queen's throne, then they must be answered with fire and blood. Do you think I jest?
I just saw my daughter for the first time in years.
Ooh, where is that? Are they on Dragonstone?
How? I think they're at Driftmark.
Oh,
they're
Driftmark?
Driftmark.
Yeah, I think they were at Driftmark.
Okay.
But
I couldn't
dude,
tell. I
the
was just-
feels in that last line. They should have kept that scene in.
Oh, I know. It's amazing.
Hopefully we get to see it on DVD. Hopefully.
Everyone's talking about how the Brits they smoke.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like everybody is like in America is kind of like frowned
Yeah.
upon smoke because we had that big campaign, which is what they're trying to do, get vaping the hell out of here. Good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
yeah, overseas they be all the time smoking everywhere.
Yeah, in Canada, they basically have banned smoking pretty much everywhere, except for on the street and your home. So you can't smoke in restaurants or bars or, you know, malls
As
or
you
anything.
should not be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and Carol says she's had 4 kids. So she had 3, and then she had 1 at 40. That's like kind of Carol. That's like my mom. So she had 3 kids in her early 20s, and then she had me at like 40. So because I was the baby. And then Adam says, I am 34, still trying to quit for a few years, trying to quit smoking. Well, good for you, Adam, for trying.
Mhm.
And Carl said,
Absolutely.
where was this funny line Carl said here? He said something. Oh, he said when everyone was talking about having babies, he said he had a car at 19.
Listen,
It's a you know, that's
I
kind
feel
of a
them.
baby. Okay, so before we sort of start wrapping up, did you guys want to rank the episodes, the 8 episodes of season 2 in order of favorite? I can just go through and kind of just give you the the names of them and the.
Sure, I have them pulled up
good.
so I can see what they're talking about.
Oh, do you? Okay, so episode 1, season 2, A Son for a Son. It was directed by Alan Taylor and written by Ryan Condal. So that was the first episode. I think we know that had blood and cheese in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then episode 2, Rhaenyra the Cruel, directed by Claire Kilner, written by Sarah Hess, and that is the one where what's the sort of the premise of it? That's the one where Kristen orders Eric to kill Rhaenyra, and they spread the rumor about Rhaenyra being responsible for the murder of poor Helena's son,
Which backfired immensely.
which backfires exactly. Episode 3, The Burning Mill, is directed by Gita Vasant Patel, and it's written by David Hancock, who I have no idea, but isn't Hancock like the name of a signature or something?
Yeah, John Hancock. Mm-hmm.
John Hancock. Yeah. Episode 4, this is pretty amazing episode. The Red Dragon and the Gold, directed by Alan Taylor, written by Ryan Condal, is obviously the one where they are at Brook's Rest, I think.
We're on TC, guys.
Antinisi, yes. Number 5, Regent, directed by Claire Kilner, written by Ty McKell. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. What is that episode about? This is he orders the Blackwoods to ravage the Brackens and force their fealty. Alice criticizes Daemon's ruthlessness, and the River Lords denounce his atrocities. This is one also where Kristen parades Amelie's head through King's Landing. That was like kind of like, I mean, I don't plot wise, I think that kind of made sense, but that was terrible.
Absolutely.
And that also backfired for him.
Yep.
Totally backfired. Episode 6, Small Folk. Andridge Peric. I'm probably saying that wrong. I apologize. Written by Eileen Shim. That's the one where Jason Lannister leads his army to the Golden Tooth. Oh, that was a great scene, actually. I love that scene. Daemon continues having his dreams. Alan's brother Adam is pursued by sea smoke. So that's my favorite scene. And then we have the passionate kiss between Rhaenyra and Mysaria. 7 is The Red Sewing directed by Lonnie.
I thought this was going to be easy.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard. Lonnie Peristeri. God, I can't say these names. Written by David Hancock. Again, this John Hancock signature guy. Mm-hmm. That's the one where Rhaenyra flies off to meet Adam, who's on Sea Smoke, and then this is the one where, this is the one with the seed sowing. So pretty pivotal episode. And then the finale, which is 8, The Queen Who Ever Was, directed by Gita Vasant Patel, written by Sarah Hess. So that's the triarchy, which is kind of a fun scene. We have Alan, like you say, rebuffing Corlys' reconciliation attempts. We have Daemon with the vision. And of course, then, Daemon bending the knee to Rhaenyra. And the armies in the reach, etc., kind of thing. So anyway, it might be easier to do what's your least favorite to start. What's your least favorite?
Looking at everything, because I enjoyed the whole season. Yeah. I think my least favorite episode would have to be 5.
Okay. Regent?
Yeah. Yeah, only because of what happens in it. Like, parading the head, stupid. Yeah. People mourning Rhaenys' death, them trying to figure out what to do next. They lost somebody else. So it's pretty much the fallout from the fight before. So that to me, just what happened in there, not because I didn't like the episode. It's just because what happened, I was not happy.
Yeah, for sure. I was going to say, I think probably my favorite one is The Red Sewing. I think that would probably be my favorite.
I can't pick a favorite. It's a problem. I can't do it.
Then probably behind that, I would have The Red Dragon and the Gold. I would have those as the two kind of like pillars in the season. You guys in the chat, let us know what you think too. What about you, Alicia?
We're going for a favorite episode.
Well, I'm just saying, for me, it might be easier to either you pick your least favorite and then your favorite, and then whatever's in the middle would probably be like in there somewhere for ranking.
I'm going to say then, just because the way Top Flight Security was not in gear at all for actually keeping people safe is going to be Rhaenyra the Terrible, because of all the fuckery with Allison and Crispy, and then Eric and Eric having to fight each other and both end up dying.
Yeah,
It's just the fuckery was on my nerves.
Yeah. So that's Rhaenyra the Cruel. Yeah. So Jackie says her favorite is Rick's Wrath. So that's what
Episode 4.
I probably would put that just behind the Red Sewing. Because that's just, there's so much it was really kind of exciting, I think, for that episode for me personally. And then, so you're saying that Rhaenyra the Cruel would be your bottom?
Or no, your top.
The Cruel would be my bottom.
Oh, your bottom? Okay.
No,
yeah.
The one that I liked or disliked the most.
I think I might put the Burning Mill at the bottom. What's the one where Rhaenyra sneaks into King's Landing and meets up with Allison? That would be the one, I think, for me.
This one,
the bottom.
Yeah, that's the Burning Mill.
Yeah,
the Burning Mill.
I would
Yeah,
put at the bottom. What about you, Manic Meeks? Do you have a one that you think is your least favorite?
That was my least favorite. My least favorite was number 5.
Your least favorite is number 5. Oh,
yeah,
sorry, Regent. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that was my least favorite because of just what happened.
What do you think is your favorite? Is it?
I don't listen right now.
I won't make you.
It's like episode 4, because it has Rook's Rest in it. The sewing, because them dragons was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like
the trolling of Sea Smoke
and also
in the dragon dragon pit.
Yeah.
And 8 because just the lore that we got out of there. Like, I can't pick between those 3 as which one's my favorite.
Sure.
I think my number 1 is going to be the finale.
Okay.
Because of the
good.
huge lore magic dump that we got in the Weirwood net. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and the other reason why I think I have the Red Sewing above Rick's Rest is because at the end of the episode we see Rhaenyra. She's at Dragonstone. She's wearing her beautiful red gown, and she's got the dragons around her, and she's all sooty and everything. And then Vhagar tries to,
Aemon tried to roll up.
Yeah,
you learned a lesson, didn't you?
Nope.
So
I think for me it was just like a great episode for me. And costume wise, great costumes too. Hey, do you guys have can I ask you what your favorite costume was, or do you have one? Meeks, I don't know if you think about that stuff at all.
I have to look it up to see, because I know it's something that Rhaenyra is wearing, but I can't remember which one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the one that's in my picture right now.
Yes. Yeah, that's from season 1,
that's
though,
my
right?
fave. Is it?
Yeah.
It might be. I
is.
forget what it said when I did the band
it's beautiful
episode.
though. It's really nice.
Season 2, actually.
Oh,
for season 2, I'm gonna say
Sweet Tooth. Yes, Jackie. Yes, Queen.
I haven't watched all of Sweet Tooth yet.
I have to,
but it's on my list.
I haven't finished it. No, I love it. And also, Big Man is from Game of Thrones. He's like Zeros Daxis. I can never say his name.
Zaro Daxis. Yeah.
He has 3 names.
Okay, I figured out where it is.
Go ahead.
My favorite outfit is by Rhaenyra, and it's the I have it up here. Hold on.
You want to share it?
Well, first of all, I got like 48 screens. So hold on, let me see.
1,001 tabs.
Big
strikes
Man.
again.
Yes, he's so good in that. The show's really good.
Is it this one?
I love it. Oh, also Jackie, I love the scientist.
This outfit. This.
Yeah, at the war table. Nice.
That is my favorite outfit. It's so pretty. I like the shoulder. I like how it's like a wide collar, but there's still like a little peak of fabric that like covers up a little more. I just like how it fits, and I love
the layers. Yeah.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, that deep blood red is really
burgundy,
nice.
kind of it's her costumes this season I think were really good.
Yeah,
I was pretty much
I with Thief.
I loved I loved her nightgowns the best. Like she has like this even though I didn't like the episode as much, the queen the Rainier of the Cruel, I did love her outfit. She wore this sort of like really pretty smocked nightgown. Although even though she had that really hard pillow that I criticized, it's like that pillow was just, really rock hard, and she kept having to punch
They
it
even
and
have
try
a
to make
picture
it
of it?
fluffy.
This?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
It's like antique pleated, the undergown, and the
I
only
love the
thing that was
color
a
of
bit
it.
weird, I think she should have taken off the robe and then gotten into bed, because like you don't get into your bed in your robe, right?
Unless it's
Normally.
cold. I mean, it
I
could be.
suppose. And she
But
had
I
a
don't know if it's cold because of
terribly-
the dragons. I assume it'd be hot.
She had a terrible pillow, which, if I ever talk to the props people, I'll ask about that. Be like, what's the
wish
deal
we
with
could
the
see the
pillow? Was
pillow,
it
but
filled
it's
with
not
straw
investment.
or something? Or, usually it would have been a feather pillow. At least the rich people would.
Yeah, that pillow didn't move. She laid on that thing and it was like,
She
I
was
remember
trying.
seeing that.
She was trying to like
That pillow didn't
pound
budge.
it.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Well, I'm glad you guys shared your favorite costumes. I'm actually, because I'm going to do a top 10 like best women's, like in my opinion, and the best men's. But I've been like, oh, what am I going to do? It's going to be
It's
so
hard this season. It's hard.
really
I'm gonna say
hard. And the men's
House
costumes are
House
so
Velaryon
good.
stuff,
Yes. Well, my issue,
especially the
is
one that Alan was wearing.
the men's clothes are so good this season. Like it's funny. Like I always, there's always the pretty dresses, but I always usually prefer the men's costumes. I always find them like really interesting. But my favorite is, well, one of my favorites is Jason Lannister's costume with like the giant, he's got these massive lion pauldron shoulders, and then he's wearing he's just completely decked out in this crazy armor, like way over the top. Like it would be so expensive, but I just loved it. Hey Ramon, is that how you say your name? Is it Ramon? Or is it Ramen?
I hate when people use that word incorrectly.
Is it Ramon? How do you say it?
Oh no, not his name. The word filler.
Oh, filler. Okay.
I hate when people use that word.
Ramon?
Wow.
Whenever, yes, Lion Blank. Oh no, because I was thinking when I think of Ramon, I think of Romy and Michelle's high school reunion. She's like, Ramon, you're such a good lover, Ramon.
When I think of Ramon, I think of oh damn, what was the name of that movie? I think it was the Forbidden Dance or something. There's a character in there named Ramon. He was played by what's his name? Shabadoo, who was a choreographer back in the day, like the 80s.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what do I have on my list? The last thing. We kind of ranked the list. We didn't quite complete it, but I was going to say, okay, so last thing, before we start wrapping up, what are you really hoping? Like, because, there's all these, like, Ryan kind of, like, didn't quite complete the season. Like, it just feels like everything is gearing up to, like, so for instance, if the show got canceled now, we would be really upset, right?
Oh, pissed.
Like,
pissed.
100%.
There's all these storylines that aren't wrapped up. So what are you really hoping to see next season? Like we were talking, but like I'd love to see what happens to little Ollie. Like, he's gonna grow, right? He's gonna grow over the next year and a half, or 2 years, or wherever long it's gonna be. But
who is the
little
Ollie? Who is that?
He's the
Tully.
family.
Is it Tully?
Oscar?
Yeah, sorry. What did I call him?
Ollie, the guy who
Ollie.
Oscar. Sorry,
not season 1, but Game of Thrones.
Ollie, sorry, Ollie is from is from Game of Thrones. Apologies.
Yeah, Ollie's swinging.
Yeah.
Oscar. Yeah, little Oscar is gonna grow. Over the next year and a half or two. So, what are you hoping to see? What are you hoping for?
I think they should do a repeat of what they did with episode 1 of this and give us the big heavy hitter thing that everyone was expecting in the finale. So once the credits are going, or maybe they'll do a cold open, but we need to.
I think they're going to do a cold
immediately. Head into that battle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what is the battle? You have to tell me because I'm not.
What is spoilers? Did you want to type it in the chat, or what we doing with spoilers?
Is that a spoiler? Okay.
Put it in the private chat for me,
Okay.
Meeks, please.
Okay. We won't talk
Because
we won't
I'm
talk about
blanking
spoilers.
on the exact name, but yeah, that battle we need to have that like first and straight away.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll sort of start the season off really strongly.
And
Yeah.
it'll also tell us what else they're planning on doing, because where the players are at the end of the season is not where they were in the book when this battle was happening. And certain like dragons aren't the right sizes. We got some baby dragons. And so we're trying to figure out like the logistics of what's supposed to happen since it's slightly changed. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to handle it as well, because the way they handled this will set the tone for the rest of the season and what we can expect the rest of the season.
Yeah,
because also like for instance, in the finale we had, I think it was the finale, Rhaena is with the wild dragon, right? And is she playing the role? Is she Nettles? Is she doing the Nettles?
Exactly. Like we don't have a definitive
we
don't have that information.
we technically don't have a concrete answer.
Jackie says tomorrow's
damn, and I said I was going to work. Shit.
That's awesome. You were so what's wrong? Meeks, what's the matter?
I work with law enforcement.
Oh.
So I do like help desk for the patrol, and that is the worst day to work because a lot of random weird shit happens.
I was gonna say, it's about to be shenanigans.
Is it like conspiracy theory stuff, or what is it?
More like superstition stuff.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
more like all the crazies come out. More like all the crazies come out, just weird stuff.
Now I kind of like, well, we're gonna watch Field of Dreams, but I feel like we should watch like Friday the 13th or something.
It's
Voorhees.
Sounds about right.
Something's gonna happen. Like we're gonna go in there and the computers won't turn on, or the power will go out, or a program will be shut down, a server's gonna break. Something happens.
That's so cool. I mean, that's probably super annoying, but
yeah, I'm gonna want to fight people. I can't
calling
fight
the cops. Yeah. So is there anything else that you're hoping to see next season?
Well, there's
how can you do this non-spoilerly?
Right, that's what I'm trying to think on.
Are you hoping to see Kristen get his comeuppance?
I don't
think that's gonna happen until maybe the last season.
Yeah, you think they'll keep it for that, right? Because this is only going 4 seasons.
4 or 5.
I've been hearing 4 and 5, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, because George says I think they needed 40 episodes to tell the story, right? But they've already trimmed back like season 2.
Yeah.
So, by the way, did you guys see Matt Smith has a mohawk now for another movie he's doing? They dyed his hair, like he's got a mohawk and he's dyed it pink and looks actually pretty cool.
Interesting.
He's awesome. I love him.
I think Daron. I'm looking forward to seeing, and you know what's going to be the interactions with him and his siblings that he did not grow up around at all. So it's going to be interesting to see his temperament.
That's
and what'd you say?
By the way,
they said it was supposed to be the best of them, and I want to see if we can call him Daron.
Daron.
That's a title because it's Aemon.
Do you call Aegon titles? Well, Aegon only has 1 A, so you can't call him.
No, we call Aegon dumbass.
Well, it depends. See, if Aegon wasn't such a trash person, he would be Aegon.
Yeah,
but he's not doing anything worth adding another capital A in front of his name.
To his name, right?
Yeah.
I will call him. I will dub him forevermore the cockless non-wonder.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying earlier about he, that because of his situation now, he wouldn't be able to get Helena pregnant. So,
or he stole his sister's title from the book, which I did not like. So we could put a spin on that. The like dollar store discount flea bottom version of the Realm's Delight.
But do you guys have anything else I feel like we've kind of like covered everything.
I'm excited and sad.
It's gonna be do we have a date? It's probably gonna be
no, I don't think we don't have dates yet. I would like to, though, since we're at the end, share something funny.
Of course.
And I think I did play it on one of our talks, Heidi. But
Yeah.
in the spirit of things, I think it definitely deserves another rewatch. Let me find the right tab here. Yep, there it is. And this creator, she just does a lot of really cool shorts, and she's hilarious. So this has stuck with me throughout the whole season after we got the dragon seeds come in. So enjoy. If you've not heard of her, her name is Neat Marina, and I encourage everyone to go and watch her shenanigans.
I know damn well this bitch ain't flying dragons over my house just for fucking shiggles. You want me to pull the fuck up? I'll pull the fuck up.
Yeah, we knocky and bucky and ready to fight. I'ma baby, I ain't nothing nice. They call up, it ain't no stopping. Back you like
My God.
Dude,
My
that
God.
never gets old, man. I have watched that so many times.
I just like how people.
I love how these people on TikTok, they just sort of grab stuff around their house.
Right,
to
so
just sort of-
and she does that in
Yeah.
all of her videos, like the bare
would
minimum,
love
so
to
you
do
could
that.
tell,
yeah, just the bare
you could
minimum.
still
Like
tell
I saw
what
I
character
saw
she
this
is.
woman
Yeah.
doing on TikTok doing Bridgerton.
Yes,
she was
those
just
are my favorite.
basically taking like stuff out of her kitchen to make the
Mhm.
hats and stuff like that.
Yes.
She's just putting them on her
Yep,
head.
I
Oh
know
my God, it's
exactly
so
which
funny.
one you're talking about.
Super creative,
Oh my
right?
goodness.
Oh, it's really, really
Hilarious.
good. Yeah. Well, anyways, so if I think we're good. I think if anybody has anything else to add, do you want to add before we go?
No.
I feel like I'm
No,
melting.
yeah,
here. My
I
eyes are
think
like,
I think we could leave it there. You know, this
Mhm.
season I think was a blast. I had some gripes, but
Sure.
overall I think it still works, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with season 3. Fingers crossed, you know, prayers to the old gods and the new, that George will come down from his high horse a little bit and still help give us a great story.
well, I hope maybe him and Ryan can talk. Like, maybe they just need to have a conversation.
Yeah, I just feel like at this point it's silly. But they're starting, I think either they started filming or they're going to start filming soon.
Wow.
Okay.
And you know, we don't know if and also of course there's the other show that's coming out.
The
What
Hedge
is
Knight?
it? The Hedge Knight, yes.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Eggy.
definitely
So
looking
that's
forward to
very
that.
exciting.
Great casting that we've seen so far for
and
that show.
You know, it'll be kind of nice because it's more lighthearted, right?
It
It's a
should
bit
be
more,
for
yeah.
a little bit, a tiny bit. They should
a
do
tiny bit more lighthearted. So it'll be
Dunk
kind
the
of
lunk.
yeah, and it's sort of the adventures. Like I guess it's sort of
Mhm.
episodic. Each week would be a different sort of.
You know, this random thing that just popped into my head because we're talking about dunk and egg. There is that theory that is, I feel like maybe 98.5% actual canon
Mhm.
that Dunk is an ancestor of Brienne, because the shield that is made for him is brought up in.
I thought that was confirmed.
What was it? See, I don't know. It may have been, but I've never heard an actual confirmation. But like I said, 98.5%. This shield is very unique, and it's in the armory on Tarth. So I don't know who exactly, where the lineage started as far as the female line, but Dunk was definitely out here having some kids.
They said it's just a direct ancestor, or direct descendant.
Okay, so they did confirm it. Okay. See, I would like to know what that family tree is. I feel like what was her name? The fiery redhead that he liked?
Melisandre?
Lady. No. I'm talking about Dunk.
Oh.
Who was the little sassy lady that basically kept checking every random dumbass man that came into her sphere? She's the one that told Dunk to like take a knee real quick because she was very short and she wouldn't be able to smack him in the face.
Yeah. I cannot remember.
Was it Weber? Rowan? Yes, Rowan Weber. That's who it was. They were beefing because of the Chicky
Weber.
Water situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing if we get a spin as a just like a nice cute reminder of, hey, we know where this guy's blood ends up in Game of Thrones.
Well, it makes sense. They're both really tall,
Mm-hmm.
Bran and Duncan, right? So, how tall is he supposed to be?
I would guesstimate at least like 6'3", because they're not gonna give someone like the tall name without them being like abnormally tall to them.
Yeah, and in the medieval era, that would have been very tall.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
6'3".
yeah. Like he's I wouldn't say he's as tall as the mountain.
Oh, child.
But he's close. I
Hold
think.
on, no,
okay.
ma'am, that's incorrect.
Wait.
Let me look again.
What happened? Do we have an exact measurement?
7 feet.
He's supposed to be 7 feet.
I believe that.
Well, it's funny because like, doing my research on Alien, the actor who played the alien
Mhm.
xenomorph was
Originally,
6'10".
he was a tall dude. Yeah, wearing a bunch of prosthetics. Yeah.
They found him in a bar. And
Yeah,
For the
and
original
that-
Alien.
Yeah, the
original
original alien.
Alien.
That was
He was
actually
from
a guy
yeah.
in the
Because-
suit.
For
In a
the
suit.
last Alien movie, it was a basketball player.
Yes.
Yeah,
That guy
I
was
remember that.
ridiculously tall as
He
well.
was
though,
also
right?
stupid tall.
Yeah.
And very, very skinny and very frail looking. So he fit
So,
perfectly
and
for that.
how tall is Brienne supposed to be? I mean, she's a woman, but she's very tall, even for a woman.
I
right? Or
would
for a man.
would give her even for a man, I think I would give her at least 6 foot.
Because I think Gwendolyn Christie is
How
very
tall is Gwendolyn? Yeah.
She's also in
She
This
is a
Man
yeah,
Man.
she is a very delicious looking tall
Listen,
glass of
in
water
the
right
book,
there. Mhm.
she is supposed to be at 6'6".
Holy
Okay.
shit!
That makes sense. That makes
She's-
sense.
Well, they're giving it. She's 6'3", almost 4.
So if you
almost
put her
6'4".
in like boots, she can make it.
Yeah,
Put
she's
her in
almost
big old
6'4" in IRL, and then with boots,
Yep.
like you say, she would make it. So that makes sense
That
because
fits.
except for the like you say, except for the mountain. I mean, there's really no other.
Yeah, there's no
characters.
other like super big person like that.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
the Hound, but I
Hound
think
is supposed to be
I
taller.
think Dunk would be taller than the Hound.
Dunk
I didn't
is
even
taller than the
realize
Hound. The
Gwendolyn
Hound's
Christie
at
was
6'9".
as tall as all that. Like I thought she was maybe 6 feet, but I'm kind of surprised that she's that tall.
Yeah, she was a great pick. I mean, well,
Oh, yeah.
it's kind of a debate that I've seen, like because I think it's true to point out that she is far too sexy of a woman to legit. If you go like pound for pound of Brienne in the book, Gwendolyn Christie is not ugly in any way, shape, or form.
No, not at
And
all.
I'm not
She's
saying
beautiful.
that Brienne herself was ugly, but the way George wrote her features, you could say it, for lack of a better word, like she was more mannish
Yeah.
in her features, and that's not a bad thing. But if you think about that, and then you look at Gwendolyn Christie, no, she's sexy all day.
But they did kind of downplayed her, attractiveness.
They
In
did.
the show.
They did.
Like,
That's
made it-
why
they
they muted it, like no makeup or anything, like or
Exactly.
She was
anything that
always
any of
frowning.
the females would work. Yeah.
Well, it's the same,
Which
it's
is
the
why
same
a
with,
lot of folks thought it was weird when she smiled after being knighted. That the smile looked weird on her. Well, that's Gwendolyn Christie being a great actress, because Brienne doesn't smile like that.
Listen,
It would look
Climb that
weird
tree.
that
He did. He
she's
climbed
sitting
it.
there cheesing.
he climbed that tree right up.
Look,
did.
Tormund was waiting for that boy. He was
Oh,
eating
yeah.
chicken, looking down at her at the dinner table, like this could be you, girl.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and he was thinking, "Oh, we're gonna have some beautiful babies."
Bro, he went on his side quest, and as soon as he got back, is the big woman still here? Tormund is such a joy.
It's so good. If they're gonna do a spinoff, I'd love to have a show. Num num. This is Jackie.
It would have to be just him in his younger years, because
that would be
the Jon
really fun.
Snow thing. I don't
No.
want to see Jon and Tormund trekking through the north right now. No, thank you. But old school Tormund, who told that tall tale about being
That'd be
trapped
so
in the belly of a giant, I would love to see his
Yeah.
misadventures.
Yeah, I know. He's so great. They'd have to cast a young actor though to play him.
I think they could. I think
Mina
they
says
could
she's
swing
still mad
that.
that Bran didn't give Tormund a chance. Well, she was in love with Jaime. She was in love with him.
Okay, see, and where did that get her? outside of
Nowhere.
Winterfell in her bathrobe in the
Yep.
middle of winter, cold, crying, trying to get this motherfucker to come back inside. And sadly, that's just Brienne. It kind of is on brand. She likes pretty boys.
Yeah.
She liked
yeah.
Renly, and Renly was a
Yeah.
pretty boy. Then she moved on to
He was.
Jaime. Jaime was a
Yes.
pretty boy too.
It was unrequited.
Just is
I
what it
think.
is. Torment ain't her type.
His heart was with his sister. Like, you know, what are you gonna do? It's hard to compete with blood. What was I watching recently where I was like, it was like two siblings again, and I was like, what is with the deal with this
Flowers in the
sibling
Attic.
thing? What was it?
Flowers
I was like Flowers in the Attic, which we were watching.
Flowers in the Attic is another. Yeah,
That
no, I'm just
is
like,
a
what is the thing with
crazy freaking
siblings?
story, dude.
Oh, it's so crazy. Oh, sorry, Jackie. We'll stop. Okay, so we're gonna wrap things up now.
Yeah.
So that Mama can go to bed.
Yes,
Okay,
indeed.
hey, so Meeks, why don't you tell everybody where you are, where they can find you? I mean, I have your vitals in the description.
Your vitals.
Yes.
Your vitals.
Yes,
your,
my social vital
vitamins,
pulse.
Your
I
social
love it.
vitals. in the description.
You can find me.
Her blood pressure is okay. Go ahead.
You can find me on YouTube. My main channel is just Manic Meeks, and I have a gaming channel that's Manic Meeks Gaming. Separated gaming, reactions, and other stuff. And you also find me on TikTok where I do random videos of wherever I feel like it. Sometimes about shows, sometimes about games, sometimes about tomfoolery in the world. But that's just Manic Meeks on TikTok. I am on Twitter, but I rarely use it. I am on Instagram, but I rarely use it. I do have a Patreon that has full-length reactions. So if you want to do that, that's patreon.com/Manic Meeks. But yeah, I'm on the things. I do the things. I'm constantly putting out stuff, and I'm always taking recommendations. I'm always writing them down if they're interested enough. Yeah. So
do you have
that's
new
where I am.
glasses, by the way? I feel like they're new.
I've had these for like a year, I think. I need another pair.
Maybe it's because of your hair. Then they just look.
Yeah, you can actually like focus on them. They're just my same purple
glasses.
glasses.
You normally your hair, but it makes them look like they're. I love them. They're really nice.
Yeah, they're real cheap.
Alicia, I'm leaning back in my chair now. Alicia, what have you? I'm
Yes, you can find me on my channel, AK Watch. I also am on Twitter and Instagram, but I don't post there a whole lot. And you know, Meeks and my cousin Daphne are very heavily still trying to get me into the TikTok streets, and I'm still trying to resist, but I'm there too. If you want to go search. And yeah, I talk about random nerd things and sit on the panel and get tipsy with my friends, talking about dragons and the Weirwood Net,
so fun,
and the Aes Sedai and all of the shenanigans of Marvel.
Yes.
So so stay tuned for all that. If you fancy nerd speak, come check me out, please. Trying to get to 1,000. We almost there. I think we need about maybe 40 or so more people to get to 1,000, and then we can go on and monetize and start really getting it popping.
Yeah, there's nothing more fun than hanging around, nerding out, deep diving, talking, and then having some bevies and hang out with my girls. It's so fun. Like, I mean, honestly, I was like, I wish I had this when I was younger. Like, I wish I'd had known this could happen. I mean, I guess we didn't have the technology then, but even then, like, what a blast. I love hanging out with you guys.
I know, it's so much
fun. It's always fun.
It makes me so glad we've gotten to know you too and had you on here. And I
just be hiding.
I
just be hiding. I just be hiding. I rarely do rarely did live streams because I'm just so busy.
So I should be so privileged that you're here.
The only person I've been on was Sean Tank Top and AK.
Yep.
Everybody else,
and
hey, listen, sorry.
I will personally send again thanks to Sean Tank Top, because I found him when Lovecraft Country was on, and that is how I found out about Meeks. So I hit Meeks up, like, I think it was maybe like 2 weeks after Lovecraft was going down from the finale. And I was like, hey, you want to talk about some stuff?
The show was so great.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was like Watchmen. It was only ever meant to be
so good.
one season, one and done. And I think it was great. So again, many thanks to Sean, because that's how I found Meeks, and Meeks is the homie cousin, and we've been rocking ever since. I think we're going on like our 3rd year. now.
I feel like that's wrong.
Maybe.
I feel like that's wrong.
Is it
Hold on.
2? No, it's more than 2.
I feel like it's. Hold on.
Jackie, I'll make you a mod. I just I can't figure out how to do it right now though. I'd have to. Can I? What happens?
Oh yeah, if you go onto don't look at our chat. Go onto the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
And click the 3 dots by her
that's
name.
what it is. I can't do it from StreamYard. That's what
you can't do it from StreamYard.
Okay, so Jackie, I'll make you a mod.
Yeah, like I said, this is going on. Getting ready to go on 5 years.
What?
Wow.
5?
That Lovecraft
has
came out
it been
2020.
that long? Oh shit! Yeah.
Well,
okay.
That's how long I've known Becks then, because Becks and I met during doing Lovecraft Country.
How did I meet Becks? I think I met Becks through Tanya and Nikki.
Yeah, and then I met Nikki and Tanya through Becks. So there you go. It's we've all.
And that's what I always say. We all travel in the same circles on these YouTube streets because we're all into the same nerd things. And I am positively glad. I found Heidi.
I'm camera. Sorry, the camera just bleeped out.
I remember Heidi. I found you because I was following John Del Vento. And then when you guys started doing stuff for the Creative Guilds, and actually just recently he's jumped back and started posting some music stuff on YouTube again. So
that's good. I really wish him well because I really like him and
I had him on for House of the Dragon season 1. For season 3, I think I'll bring him back on if he's still down and watching the show.
Totally. No, I'm glad we got to know all of us got to know. And I met Justin through, I think it was Robert Indie Geek. That's I think how I met him.
I don't remember how I met him, but I know I knew him before the first Con of Thrones that I went through, and that's when we really started solidifying our friendship.
I think it was his birthday or something, and we all
yeah, that's right.
It was so fun. Yeah, I'm glad we've all gotten to know each other. It's been so fun.
You guys are awesome. And chat room also, you guys too. Jackie, Mina, Natural,
Jackie,
Carol, Carl.
Hopefully it works.
Yeah, Corinne. All I've seen all of you guys throughout the whole season in my
Carol,
chat.
actually, I don't know Carol though. Do you guys know Carol?
I do know Carol. Yes, I know Carol from the Thrones community as well.
I'm glad she's here.
And she's also a very great activist. So if you guys go and follow her channel, she's always got a lot of information of what's going on in the random world around us.
And Mina as well. I'll say shout out to Mina.
Yes, absolutely. Shout out to Mina.
I was just gonna say, so I'm kind of doing like Alien Month on my channel. So yesterday I did a live stream about Alien Romulus. I'm working on an Alien 1979 review of the costumes. And
I have not watched Romulus yet, but I've heard
it's in theaters. Yeah. It's very good. It's very good. It's one of the things that's good about it is if you've never seen Alien before, you could go see it and watch it and it would make sense. You don't have to have any prior understanding or knowledge of it. And it's a young cast. So like if young people wanted to get into Alien, that would be a good sort of entry level to it. And then also I'm supposed to be interviewing Propster because they have like the original spacesuit from Alien 1979, the one that was owned by Kane. It was worn by Kane. So I'm going to be doing an interview with them. And then I'm supposed to be interviewing Roger Christian, who was the original interior set designer for Alien 1979. Because I ran into him at Fan Expo and I'm like, Roger, because I had him on for like Star Wars Day because he's the inventor of the lightsaber. Yeah. So I ran into him and I'm like, Roger. And then I said, hey, would you be willing to come on and talk about Alien? Because, and then the first thing he said to me was about Alien Romulus, they took all of our designs or they took all of our ideas. Or that's what he said. They took all of our ideas. And I said, well, can you blame them? Like, you guys did it. Like, you're the original. So they're going to be like, let's just do it again. And then you immediately know you're an alien, right? So, yeah. So hopefully I'll have him on. So anyway, that's it.
That's awesome.
Cool beans.
Left for a minute.
If you ever,
I'm a mod.
If you ever want to chat about the Alien franchise, I am definitely down.
I want to go back and watch. I just watched the first one, so I want to watch 2 and 3 because 2 is actually it's really interesting. It's James Cameron, and then 3 is David Fincher, and then I think Prometheus is then back to Ridley. So I want to do the props are badass. I want to do Actually, Roger invented the flamethrower. That was one of the things he created, the flamethrower that they
Nice.
use. So that's
Yeah,
kind of cool.
practical
Thanks,
effects
Jackie.
were so cool
Mhm.
back in the day. I love seeing practical effects.
I love practical effects. They're
goodness.
so great. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But you know what? Honestly, in the new one, they went back to doing that. They had practical as
Mhm.
well in Romulus. So, okay. So I think we're all done, and I'm gonna probably go to bed.
I'm gonna go eat and get the hell out of this hot ass room.
Yeah.
Yes, and
I'm
yeah,
gonna
and Meeks
take
is
some
gonna
more
go
medicine
cool
and go to
off.
sleep.
Thanks, Jackie. Oh, Jackie, thank you so much. That's so kind of you
Yes,
to
thank
do
you,
all this.
Jackie. We appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I
All
know
right,
how
and
to
thank
make
you for
people
having us on,
mods.
Heidi.
It was a lot
you
of
guys,
fun.
you
Do
know
it
what? You're
again.
welcome anytime. And if you
Cool
want to do
beans.
chaos, please sign me up.
I
loved
have
it.
you on the books.
It's such a nice change because it's so lighthearted and kind of
It's
fun.
so silly. It's so goofy.
silly. The cast is great. Like Jeff Goldblum is hilarious. It's really fun. The cast is great. I love the visuals. I love the design of it. So really fun. So thanks everyone who came out. We really appreciate it every time you come in. Carl, you're always
Indeed.
here. Carol, Adam, Kitty left. So anyway, love our regulars. So everyone have a lovely evening. Bye.
I see. See you guys.
Bye.